welcome in everybody. We have what's going on here? Something with the camera is off. It's off. It worked just a minute ago. That's just great. Oh, there it is. It just needed a little time to load, and now it's gone again. Why is that?
Uh-oh.
And there it is. It's back, and then it was off, and then it was on, and then it was off. That was very strange. Seems to be working now. Maybe I just needed to load a bit. But we're back. Welcome to a collaboration between Board Game Heaven and Phlanx06 on that side. James and Ray together.
What?
Hey.
Well, it's funny because I'm like watching your stream and mine, and so everything's
Yeah.
all off. But
On this way or that side.
yeah.
Yeah, welcome in
Anyway,
everybody. Today we're going to be playing on Tabletop Simulator Tanares Adventures, which is a RPG-like board game dungeon crawler that is a cooperative game. It's an expansion to Arena the Contest, which in its core was a arena game. The name already says it, where you play team versus team of characters with all different kinds of skill sets, and hit points and stuff. And you play in this big arena versus each other, trying to knock out the others. And that game, Arena the Contest, had a smaller cooperative campaign that Dragori Games, the publisher, had written for it, and people loved it so much they asked for more. So
yep.
James, what happened then? Why didn't you tell everybody?
Well, I mean, quite a bit. So, right, Tanares Adventures has been in a work for quite a while, as many of our backers do know, but it finally did come out here. And well, really is in still the process of going out to people. Unfortunately, not everyone has received their package yet, but quite a few people have, and so far people have absolutely been loving the game. Plenty of other YouTubers have been kind of covering this, and just even when I was asking Raymond, he was excited to try it out. Just busy guy as usual, so we
Yep.
figured we'd just kind of get together and play in here and see how you feel about it.
Yep, yep, yeah. I'm very excited about it. It looks awesome. I've of course been following the Kickstarter and your channel. So for people who don't know James yet, he has a YouTube channel called Phlanx06. And
Yep.
before you, we got in touch with Dragori Games. You did a lot of videos on Arena the Contest and all the different characters and the heroes and the gameplay, etc. Huge fan, as you are. And then
Yeah.
Dragori Games at some point contacted you, and I think they asked you to be their PR person, right? Or
Yeah,
some kind of,
community manager, but
right?
yeah, so I kind of was just, yeah, like a lot of people out there, just a fan of the game. And like you said, made videos and started a Discord server, which is pretty successful right now.
Right.
And, and anyway, yeah, then they asked if I'd want to be the community manager. And that's what I've been doing for, it's hard to believe, it's actually been almost 2 years now.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
That time flies.
it does. It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah, so yeah, James has made a whole bunch of videos on the subject of this game on his channel, and we even I think we even played. Yeah, we did. We played a game of Arena the Contest together earlier with a few friends as well, right? With
Yes.
gosh, I forget, but one was with King of Average. I remember that one with Michael as well.
Yeah, so I think we had it's been a while because that was
Yeah.
yeah, even before I was part of Dragori, but yeah, we had King of Average and there was I don't know if it was the same one, but there was Board Game Co on one of them as well, and of course you were there. So yeah, it's been a number of
It's really
collaborations
cool.
and
Yeah.
but it's been a while since we've done something, so
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited. Indeed, like you said, I hadn't had the opportunity yet to get it to the table, because it's a big game. It's a huge campaign, and you
it
need
is.
to get a group of friends that are ready to start it and to play through this, which I'm sure at
Yeah.
some point we will. But at least now we can play it online and get right into it. And while we're at it, show
Sure.
it to people on stream. I'm streaming on Twitch. James is streaming on YouTube right now on his channel. So, and
Yep.
we'll all
So
be able
hopefully it
to.
doesn't get too crazy
Yeah,
between the two streams going at the same time. But
exactly, exactly.
um, one actually a quick thing I wanted to mention is while yeah this is definitely a great game for a whole group. It's actually also pretty well rated within even the solo board game groups because we do have some ways for you to play solo and with like a reduced complexity. So that way you're not having to manage quite as many pieces to play the game. So
Right.
there is kind of ways to get around it if you don't have that group
Hmm.
available for whatever reason, or you want to pull people in and out, right? Depending on you have only two friends available to play, right? So
Hmm.
we'll talk about that in a second.
All right. Okay, well, I'm gonna switch to the tabletop simulator scene. I hope my cam works. So hang on a second. I think I still need to copy it with all the hassle we had setting this up with the cameras and
Yeah,
everything. So let me just quickly go here and
sure, no
yeah,
problem.
see that. Hey, I'm all the way down there. So I need to quickly fix. Let's see. This is off, and then we have where is it? That's the chat box. Here it is, Discord. So let me just put this up here. And I'm just gonna let's see if I can just do that. Get us both of us working there like this. And there you go. All right. Boop. Now I am gonna make this a bit smaller so we're not all over the view screen there. All right.
So
Cool.
while Raymond's setting that up, I'll show a little bit of the mod that we have here. I think on your even on your stream, you should be able to see some of
Mhm.
what it is. But this is the upcoming new version of the mod. We do already have this a smaller version of this available in Tabletop Simulator right now. You can play the first two tutorial quests, and in fact, we're going to be playing one of them today, just because it is kind of it's a little simpler, it's a little easier for people to kind of get through, and then at the same time, right, we want to be respectful of everyone's time and try not to take too long between teaching and playing the game, but give you a good idea in a short period of time. So we're trying to go for less than 2 hours, but I know with my previous streams it usually ends up going over from what I wanted. But
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes today.
Sometimes happens, but that's okay. We have time. We have
Yeah, we got some time.
time. This is a whole RPG, says Coffee Kupo. Yeah, it is. It started as like this is the original arena for Arena the Contest here. This board, which you can set up with 3D
Yes,
walls and everything. There's an expansion that has the 3D scenery, and there's all kinds of cool
correct.
stuff. And you would be fighting team versus team or doing the smaller included campaign in Arena the Contest, and it comes
Yep.
with a bunch of heroes. What you're seeing here is all the heroes from all the expansions, but it came with how many heroes were in the core game of Arena?
So the core game of Arena, I believe, comes with 16. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. So if you just talk about the core box, I think it's 14 because there is 7 classes and
Two of each.
two of each
Right.
ones.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's still quite a bit in there. And Tanares Adventures, of course, adds a whole nother class, the
The
commander
commander
class,
class over here on the right. Yeah. Exactly.
which for most people, just to quickly explain, is a kind of supporting character, but they get a pet,
Hmm. Yeah. That's
their
pretty cool. Yeah.
companion pet there. So we got
Yeah.
like a Cerberus and a mummy and the beast and a Pegasus and things like that. So
Yeah.
a lot of cool stuff.
That's very
Very
cool.
high fantasy inspired game.
Yeah.
So you're getting, characters like the Minotaur and, werewolves and vampires and pirates and,
Yeah.
just kind of all over the place.
Lots and lots of characters, yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, and
And
then
really
you
that's the part that's as exciting. As you guys will see, you'll see how each character is unique and why that is important. So it's not just about a crazy spam of characters, but the combinations you'll be able to build.
exactly. Yeah, because they have these synergies going on, which is pretty cool. But you'll see that as
Oh,
we play. So yeah, and then Dragori Games, the developer and publisher, they had written this whole world, this bunch of lore, and they even have a book, an art book that has also some bits of lore in it from the first
yep,
campaign. And they've written so much, they had so many ideas that they actually thought about making an RPG. And then because people
correct.
wanted
Yeah.
the dungeon crawling bit to be expanded on, they developed Tanares Adventures, which is a box that's twice the size of Arena de Contest. It's a huge box. I have an
Yeah,
unboxing
it's
on my
massive.
channel if you want to check that out. That's there. And there was a bunch of expansions as well, and a stretch goals box, and they created this epic campaign, which is absolutely huge. So it does feel like a full RPG. But in addition to that, they actually went and wrote an RPG. So they actually made a Tanaris Adventures RPG for 5th edition rules, a set of 3 books as
Yep.
well, separate from the Tanaris board game. So there's actually
Yep.
3 games by now, technically. So yeah, you can
Yes.
actually
Yeah.
play it as a classic RPG 5th edition, or as an extension to the board game, which I like a lot because it's a little bit more accessible for my gaming group at least. Although we do play RPGs as well, but multiple RPGs at the same time is a bit difficult. So having a board game like this,
Yeah.
yeah, that's certainly an option. So
Yeah. It's a fun way to kind of tie your worlds together, still kind of enjoy in the lore of it, but kind of be able to see from both sides.
true. All right, so James,
All right. You ready
let's
to
see how
get
we
this
can
started?
exactly.
Sure. So I think kind of Raymond explained a few things here, right? We have, up at the top, right? We have our heroes. Just so people are also aware, there is a PvP version of the game and a campaign part of the game.
Right.
So these bigger pads that are specifically, if you guys see on my screen, I'm actually making them big on my screen for the hero pads. So you will use these for PvP, right? When you're playing against other players in the arena. But if you're playing Tanaris Adventures campaign, you will use these little cards that are next to it here. I've placed next to the boards
Right.
that are just called hero cards. And each hero is unique. They all have the same like triggers within their class, but then they all have unique effects. So each character is still very different from each other. Everybody has their own specials and different primary attacks that they get to use, which are, when I say primary attacks, I'm talking about the skills that are gray
Mm-hmm.
in the top here. And then
Right.
the gold ones are your special attacks. And you only get to use those once per quest.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to use them at the right time. But that's just a quick overview of the heroes. We'll look more at it when we're explaining how to play the game here. Of course, we have the game board. You have a HP or a health tracker on the outside of the board. The inside is it's actually a RPG scaled board. So you can use our boards as a board for any RPG
Yep.
because it is a one by one.
Inch board.
So,
Yeah.
and then of course, you got all these great 3D terrain. So, pretty much everything you see here in Tabletop Simulator is something you can get, in real life. Now, obviously, the colors of some of these miniatures we've just done to make it a little bit simpler for people to see when they're playing in Tabletop Simulator, but of course, they'll come gray, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Um, for everything else. And then there's a lot of terrain tiles and things that will come with the game.
Mm-hmm.
You have reference cards just below that.
Yep.
We have a quick start guide. We have the rule book just north of the board. There is the quest book, which we're going to be using here when we
Mm-hmm.
play right there.
Right.
And then we have a couple other books. There is and these are pretty decent size, especially this journal here is, I think, a 360-page book. It's a massive, massive book, but it will take you through all the story part of the game. You'll make decisions like you're playing an RPG, where you're even going to do some dice rolling and things like that. And then it will, based on the decisions you make, it will impact your game once you get into playing the quest.
Right.
So we have two books of that currently. And then just below the books there, we have a city map here,
Mm-hmm.
which you will play kind of a deck building card game in between your quests. And it's a fun way, and it's tied to the progression of the game. So you're going to be leveling up these city buildings. And if you guys see on my screen down here, I'm looking at the city map and I'm looking at the tavern structure, and I'm leveling up this tavern structure, which will unlock new abilities for the heroes, and you'll get stronger effects that you'll be able to like unlock more heroes and do different things like that. So just real quick idea of that, and it's a very simple deck building card game. It takes probably like 15 minutes to play.
Cool.
And personally, for me, I enjoy it because it gives me a nice break. A lot of the quest, part of the game is a very puzzly type of game where you're going to be trying to figure out the right positioning and moves to use. And so it's just a nice break from that because it's very different. In the middle, we have our campaign log where we will be tracking how our campaign is progressing. You'll be able to enter what cards you have used and what city phases you've done, what quests you've completed. There is these fact log here, which is basically kind of like tying the decisions you've made in the board game to you'll have different repercussions or benefits based on choices you've made. Maybe we'll be able to see some things along the way here, but just kind of seeing. I think there's like one where there's like a skull that you get from like a lich character. And if you get that skull, there's going to be like less enemies because maybe you killed some of them with like this magic skull that you've gotten. Or, then there might be some downsides because you angered the lich that you stole this from, and he's going to get you back later. That's just a, quick idea of what you can kind of expect with the fact log.
Right.
Um, we also have some puzzles. I might show this a little bit later, but they're very simple puzzles, probably take you about 30 seconds to a minute to complete.
Right.
But it's a very unique kind of system of where you're using this lockpick puzzles and you're trying to move these balls around and solve the puzzle. It's very simple,
Cool.
but it's still tied into the game where you'll be doing a journal and you're trying to, unlock this special mechanism to move into like the next room. But I will say, because I know not everyone is a fan of puzzles, that there is a way to like ignore this because these types of adventures will have a specific name to them. So that way, like if I don't want to deal with that kind of, puzzle mechanic, I can just skip those and I'll just do a different quest that doesn't have that kind of thing. So as you move through, you will earn war points through the game. And this is also tied into later parts of the game. A lot of, the choices you make will impact the end part of the game. And there's an end phase specifically. So You'll see it in here. The final quests, there is 8 quests in the final part. It's a total, the whole campaign, not counting these 2 tutorial missions, is 30 quests. And you're not even going to do everything in Tanares Adventures the first time through, because there is over 100 quests to play.
Wow.
So there is just absolutely a ton of content, a ton of things for replayability, making different choices, playing, different adventures, taking different paths that you didn't
Exactly.
your first time through.
Yeah. That sounds
Um,
epic.
just to I know, right?
Yeah.
The next part here is the Imperial Tanaris map. We have it split separately here in Tabletop Simulator, but in real life, it's the back side of the city
All right.
phase
Yeah.
board. So you'll just flip that map over, and you will have this, and this will be you'll be able to earn more war points, which will progress you more through the campaign, and you're kind of like taking back Tanaris from the Kemet who have invaded Tanaris. So we're trying to defend our homeland here.
Right.
Okay. Next component we'll look at here is on the bottom left-hand side. These are the skill pads, and we'll go into these in more
All right.
detail. Um, Basically, what this is that this is completely new to Tanaris Adventures. This is a way to enable simultaneous turn play where, and you guys will see this, say it's Raymond's turn and he is playing his hero and taking some turns. I can do some skill abilities on his turn to potentially damage the enemies more, or I can make him blessed, for example, which will let you be able to roll twice and get the best result, right? So I can increase your chances of hitting the enemy. And so it's not just completely, you play and then I play and then we all just sit around and do nothing, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a back and forth type of thing. So you can do it on an ally's turn, and then when the villains take their turn, we'll be able to mess with them as well. So it's a very fun system.
Cool.
And then, of course, we have item cards here, which you will be able to unlock as you get further in the game, get more powerful abilities, increase your chance to hit, take less damage, do more damage to enemies, lots of different things there.
Yeah.
And that will be earned. And then, of course, like I said, you'll be able to unlock new attacks for the different classes that actually are pretty powerful.
Right. Cool.
And yeah, and then we got a save sheet here on the right, additionally as well for some other things. And our the person who made the tabletop simulator decided to include this. This is not actually part of the game, but it's a way to quickly be able to save the heroes you've unlocked and the items and things here on this left hand side. So that way you're not trying to, remember which ones you have and haven't.
Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
in real life, you'll probably use the save bag, or maybe you save it into a certain part of the box.
Right.
But that's just for tabletop simulator.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
So I think probably the best way to start is, since we are playing the second quest, we would have already selected some heroes already.
Okay.
The recommendation for hero selection
Mm-hmm.
is you always have to pick 4 heroes.
Yes.
They, like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be 4 full heroes, but you do have to pick 4. And the recommendation is to have a guardian type character, which means you select either this tank role,
Mm-hmm.
which if you kind of look just a little bit back, you can see the
The
symbol here,
icons.
right?
Yeah.
It says
Yeah.
tank. So you'd select either the tank or the bruiser class, and that fills your guardian role.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a specialist type of role, which is a tactician class
Mm-hmm.
or a controller class.
This one. Yeah.
And then you will need a healer.
Healer.
Well, I guess what's probably the way, supporting class, I
Yeah.
guess is the name for it. So You would then select either a healer
Mm-hmm.
or a commander to fill that kind of role.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last is your damage dealing type of role. So you will select either a shooter
Shooter.
or a brute character.
Exactly.
Now, like I said, completely a recommendation. You
Mm-hmm.
are not actually required to do this, and you do have enough physical components to build whatever team you want. The only rule is you cannot have two of the same
Same.
class.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can't have two bruisers, for example.
Yes. Cool.
And that's actually the same from Arena the Contest too.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So yeah, I guess just there is some like narrative aspects of which character that you know, maybe some are locked away. But you know, since we're just kind of playing for fun anyway,
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
go ahead and pick whatever excites you.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters has always been right here, Nyari the Hunter,
Yeah,
a
she
ranged
is
attack.
quite a beast.
Uh-huh. So, do I just pick these up?
So
Oh,
I'll
okay, you'll set it up.
Yeah, I'll just help you here,
Right.
move that. And really, you like I said, you don't need the hero pad
Okay,
because
we got cards.
it's only used for PvP.
Mm-hmm.
So you just need those cards, the
Yep.
miniature, and that hero card, and that's it.
All
So
right.
all right, so we got a damage dealer there. We're gonna need a tank character, or I'm sorry, a guardian type character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. Does anyone in the chat have any suggestions of some heroes you
We'll
guys would like to see?
we'll scroll over them quickly so chat can see them. So we have Joanna the Amazon, who's pretty powerful. We got Rurik the warrior, looks like a dwarf. We've got Sir
Mm-hmm.
Eric the Paladin. And we have Nakral the Death Knight. Look at that art. We've got
Mm-hmm.
Gregory the Guardian from.
Yeah.
That's a crossover, right? From the
That is a
Isofarian.
crossover.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Isofarian Guard, I think the name was. Don't know all the
Yep.
crossovers, but I did recognize a few. We've got Sedura, the Blue Dragon Blade.
Yep.
And we've got Umbalo, the War Priest, who is a different kind of species. Pretty
Yes, he's
cool.
part of the Tamaku race, which
All
is
right.
a Tanares original race.
Right. Cool. So if anyone in chat has any preferences, now is the time. And
Yep.
otherwise, we'll
Let us
just.
know what you
Oops.
guys want. I will try to pick another character as well, so that way we just you know, try to keep things going
Going. Yeah,
here.
exactly.
Yeah. Personally, one of my favorite characters is Rakaru,
Yeah, this guy.
the samurai. He
Mhm.
is a very fun character. Pick him, and we'll do a full setup once all the heroes are picked.
So anyone in chat has a preference? If you have a preference for one of these characters, one of these tank characters, these gray ones here, let us know in
It
chat.
could be a bruiser too, if you want a bruiser.
That's true.
Doesn't
You
have
can
to be
also
a
have
tank.
a bruiser. One of these, because these classes are both
So
recommended.
Vanaris the demon,
Yeah, okay.
Askren the
Got it.
archangel, Oris the monk, Renkir the dragon avenger, Anariel the sword mage, Lord Wrath the shadow knight, which is also
Also
a crossover
crossover.
character.
Yeah.
Yep. And Cordal the juggernaut.
Yes. And I believe
He's
Lord Wrath was a crossover from Chronicles of Drinagor. Is that correct? Or is it a different?
correct. Yep.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. We modified his art a little bit from what you know theirs is, right? They're all within the style of Tanares
Yeah.
Adventures, but so yeah, an Ariel. Someone suggested an Ariel on mine.
All right. Go for it.
All right, we'll go with an Ariel. She seems to be a very new popular hero. I've seen a lot of people like playing her.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so we need one more. So we
The
need
healer or a commander.
a healer or commander. I will say for anyone that is completely new to the game, if you're not, familiar with the game at all, personally, I would probably have you start with a healer character
Hmm.
until you get, familiar with the rules and how the game plays, just because it will be just a little bit easier. The reason why is because the commander has essentially, it's not two turns, but two parts to it, where your commander themselves will play, and then you have to remember to also do your pet. And so I know, sometimes if you're, overloaded with new things, it's just another thing to remember, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
So yeah, if you have anyone in chat with a preference, we can go for that, or otherwise I'll let you pick one. And if James, if you want to play a commander just to show off the pet mechanic, then
yeah, we can.
you could.
Um, yeah, let's
You are experienced.
let's do Lana the Valkyrie here.
All right.
I think she'll be a little bit simpler as one of our commanders, so that way people hopefully won't be too overwhelmed by what's happening on the screen.
Right. Okay.
So we'll go
It's
with
our
that.
team.
All right. So the next thing we need to do, Raymond,
Hmm.
here is in that bottom left. Remember those skill pads we were talking about
Right.
earlier?
This here. Just
You
scroll
need to
over.
select the skill pad and take those. The cubes that are sitting next to it are called mana cubes, and
Hmm.
the skill tokens.
Right.
Just copy all of that, or select all of that, and then drag it over to that respective hero.
So we have one shooter,
So yeah,
and
grab that one.
we'll see. I need to
And go
move
ahead.
over a
You
bit.
put yours up at the top since you're already up there.
Yep, that's over there. There we go.
I'm sure this is the always the most exciting to people, right? Watching us set up things in
Set stuff
Tabletop
up.
Simulator. But
So you got the bruiser already. I need the tactician, right? I think
correct, yeah.
he's the tactician.
So, and I guess I could mention we could play one of these heroes, at least one. We can do more if we want,
Yeah.
as a comrade, which is essentially the name for a simplified hero character.
All right.
Would you like to do that, or
I mean,
would you
we
rather
could
us
do
just
that
play
for just
fully?
for demonstrations,
Okay,
demonstration
sure.
sake.
Do you want to do it with the tactician, or would you rather do it with one of the other characters?
Um, whatever you want, as long as I can
Okay.
play the shooter. That's
Yeah. Oh, we'll get you the shooter, man.
I'll get the shooter,
Whatever you
and
want.
then whatever you want, it can
All
be
right.
the
Yeah. So
the
let's
buddy
we'll
character.
talk about how a comrade character works. We're
All right.
still gonna take those mana cubes
Mm-hmm.
and the token that go with it.
Mm-hmm.
I will grab and I'll show both because we actually came up with a minor rule variant, so that way some people didn't like how the specials work on comrades.
Mm-hmm.
But you can have the option of doing what I'll show you guys here in a second. Okay. We'll just move this off to the side.
So I have the cards for the commander, which is over here.
And then, yeah, we need to get the commander stuff over. And I'll move some
Go.
of this down so there's a little more room.
Exactly.
Yeah, it gets a little busy. But once you get it, right, it's not going to be not be too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are all of these cards.
So, maybe you remember a little bit from Arena the Contest,
I
Raymond,
do.
that right these little tokens here are the health trackers. So
Right.
you can place the
Those on
health
the board.
that matches on your skill pad here to the
Mm-hmm.
health or the hit points that is
That would
listed
be
there.
55, so that's
And
over
be a
here.
good way to kind of help get us going a little quicker.
Yep. All right, so this one has 65 for the bruiser. That's over here. And you'll notice we got a lot of health, but you also deal a lot of damage. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
The commander has 60 there. And let's see. So how does that work for the tactician in this case? Let's see. 60 hit
So
points
his
also.
health is, yep, his health is written at the bottom of this card.
Right.
And we'll talk about this. Maybe I can just do it now. So as you guys can kind of see, we're setting up uh, these other heroes to use different skills, and they will have, of course, their mana cubes, but they all have their own attack cards. So we'll be doing things like attack cycling or hand cycles and things like that as we are moving on. But we will um, try to make this a little simpler here by having a comrade character. So instead of having, it's going to be a total of, and we're going to need a couple other cards here pretty soon. But instead of having 4 primary attacks and
Mm-hmm.
2 special attacks per hero, you actually will just have 1 primary attack for a comrade and then 2 special attacks.
Right.
Now, for the comrades, they always have the same special attack.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're playing a team with, you want a very simple experience. It's your first time playing. You want to play with just one full hero, right? And when we say that, we mean with the skill pad and the 4 primary attacks and 2 specials. Um, but let's say you want to play with 3 comrades. Well, you would, get the comrade attack card that matches the class. So this one example is our tactician.
Mm-hmm.
It's a level 1. This will be upgraded as you go through the campaign and you can purchase higher level attacks. But we will just use that, and then these are the same. Now, but like I said, if you had 3 comrades, it might be a little bit boring, right? Like having the same specials between all the characters. Well, one of the variants we came up with, which we're gonna try doing today, because
Okay.
I personally I haven't even done it.
Oh, cool.
So I'm kind of excited to see what happens here. But instead, we will replace their special attacks with the special attack of that hero.
Right.
So hopefully we don't mess up anything because like I said, I personally haven't played this way yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this will make it a little more unique and fun for this hero.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, so the next thing we need, Raymond, is so like I said, we need 4 primary attacks of those each of these other heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll notice each hero will come with only 2 unique attacks that are primaries. So these, and whenever I say primary attack, I mean a card that has this gray or silver border,
Mm-hmm.
and then the specials, right? Again, are the
The
gold.
golden ones, yeah.
So these hero unique ones all have the picture of that hero
Right.
on the card. That's how you know that's their special attack that is unique to that hero.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we also will use role based attack cards. These are the ones down here at the bottom right of the screen. And since we are taking the starter cards, we will be getting the cards specifically for that role. So, a Nariel, for example, there's only 2 for the starter. Then we make it real simple for people. You don't have to select which cards you're gonna, need to use for your first quest, like in, Gloomhaven.
Mm-hmm.
You just, you got them already there, and you just pick those, put them up on the board, and we need the commander ones here. Boom.
Oh, so you get 2 more. Cool.
Exactly. So you're going to have some options of things you can do. It's not just, it's a little more than Arena where you only did have those 2 primaries and then
Mm-hmm.
that was it. All right. So the next part is let's talk about the skill pad a little bit. I'm
Right.
going to lock down our skill pads because it makes
Yeah,
the. Oh,
might
it's
bump it
not
around a
locking for
bit.
some reason. If you lock these skill pads, it makes this a little bit easier when you're playing the game. For some
Yeah.
reason, it's not locking, but it says it's locked.
This one seems to be locked. This one
That's
is
weird.
not. Let me see.
Here, oh, you have to like click it on and off for some reason.
Hmm. Yeah, now
Weird.
it's
Okay.
locked. Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to promote you just in case there's something you need to copy or whatever. That way you don't have to worry about that. Okay,
Probably won't
so
need to,
let's
but
look at one of the skill pads. Let's look at yours, Raymond. Let's look
all
at
right.
Neri here. So the shooter skill pad. You have right these abilities that are on the left in blue and abilities here on the right that are in red.
Mm-hmm.
At the top, we have the stats of our hero. So she has 55 hit points. She has a basic attack value, which will be how much damage she does when she hits with the basic attack of 8. She has a defense of 6, which is pretty simply you roll a dice. If they meet or exceed that value, then they do damage to that character.
Mm-hmm.
If they do less than that, then they miss. They
Right.
will still get some damage, but it's called a residual damage value.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll get into that more. You have a movement value here in green. That's how many squares that character can move. That can be orthogonally or diagonally. And then a reaction attack is something that we'll cover, but if anybody familiar with 5e, it's pretty close to an opportunity attack, except instead of just moving out away from a character, it is whenever you leave a square that is adjacent to that enemy. But that damage value will always be the same value to whatever the basic attack value is.
Mm-hmm.
So really, you don't even really need to remember it as something different. It will just always be that same value.
Right.
Okay, so the first thing then, and this is kind of the fun part here, Raymond, is you have those 4 tokens here on the left, right?
Mm-hmm.
They all have a little number 1 Roman symbol, Roman number symbol. You will place those on the slot 1 or
Mm-hmm.
level 1 skills of your choosing.
Oh.
You can place, 3 on the left, 1 on the right, all 3 on the right, and 1 on the left, 2 and 2, whatever you want to do is up to you. The abilities that you see here are the skills you will be able to use during another person's turn. So, like I mentioned before, True Strike, for example, if it is an Ariel's turn, Raymond could spend a mana cube to make her blessed and roll twice and pick the best result. So she'll be able to increase her chances of hitting instead of going, I don't know if we'll get
Yeah.
this one. So go ahead,
Good,
place
good.
however you see fit.
All right. Let's quickly read them. So after roll, pay 3 hit points. So that takes health away, but you add 3 to the attack roll's results. Here, before roll, we pay 2 and empowered 6. This blessed, I like that. Double roll, and you pick the best one. Here you can just chalk 1 for 3 damage, an enemy. Here you pay hit points again for a basic attack. And here you can move an enemy 3 spots. So I'm gonna take the blessing. That seems nice. Let's see. Maybe shock.
I got someone in my chat saying, yeah, 10,000 swords after a black hole is going to be way more fun than a regular comrade special. I definitely agree. 10,000 swords is a pretty ridiculous ability where you can go around striking 3 enemies up to 2 times and then move and hit somebody else. So fun ability.
Yeah, a lot of these skills are pretty wild. I like that.
Yes.
It's almost a bit over the top because you got that much health and you do that much damage, but it keeps the action going. It's like like a really
Yeah.
an action movie that you're playing. It's super cool.
Oh yeah.
So you said I can only use level ones, or can I also?
Correct. So they all have to be on that
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
bottom track.
Level two and three is unlocked
So
later. I take it.
correct. Yeah. As you progress through the campaign at the end of the week, you'll start leveling up these skills. So then you get some level twos and level threes. You see the symbol little white cube
Yep.
there. That's the number of cubes that it costs to power this ability.
Yes,
You'll
makes
earn it
sense.
many different ways through quest mechanics, or when a villain dies, you'll be able to get a mana cube. Everyone will get a mana cube, and you'll see we'll all be, yeah, woo, got a mana cube.
Yay!
Um, and whenever a boss goes around the health track one time, because some have a lot of health, you'll also get a cube. But this is what powers these abilities. So it's not like this exists in a vacuum, right?
Mhm.
Everything has a cost to it.
Yeah. Let's see what else is this all costs hit point. Remind me again what empowered is.
Yeah, sure. So empowered, and you can find all the
Right here on the.
most of
Oh,
them here. I think. Let me see. There
they're all
should
the
be
same, I
another
think. Yeah.
reference card. I think this might be
Plus these are the
one of them
same, I
too.
believe. Yeah. So let's see.
I'll have to
Empowered.
look
I see
here
it
more
right
like the
down
reference
here.
card. But
Yep.
yeah, there's another reference card that actually lists some of the new conditions. This is
Oh,
actually the one also from Arena the Contest.
yes.
But yeah, empowered is +3 damage when your attack hits an enemy. So it's a way to get some more damage
Hmm.
on the enemy.
So you just simply
And
deal
you can
extra
actually
damage.
stack those now.
Yeah, well,
So
because
you
now
could potentially
this one
have two or
says
three.
you're empowered six. So that simply means you deal six damage instead of three.
Correct.
Mm.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, so we tried to simplify things
yeah,
for people. So instead of you having to remember what empowered means, right, which was traditionally just +3 damage,
right.
now we just list that value. So that way you just remember, okay, empowered 6, I get 6 more damage.
Yeah. All right. Good. Well, I've made my choices.
Awesome. All right, so I have selected some for our comrade and, or I'm sorry, commander and bruiser
Hmm.
character as well. The tactician, since he is a comrade character, he will not have anything to select for him. So very simple
Yes.
there. I've started placing our heroes on the board, but we'll
Hmm.
kind of walk through how all of this is going to work.
Yeah.
So feel free to place wherever you'd like there,
Yeah.
Raymond.
We're just gonna start on the stairs, right? As usual.
Correct. Yeah. Just as usual, like from Arena the Contest, we will
Okay.
start over there.
And
And
the pet.
actually, the pet gets to start up to 2 squares away from wherever the commander starts.
Hmm.
Kind of fun in that way. All right. So we've kind of set up some of our heroes and what that's looked like. I've also done some work already of setting up, of course, right, the map, the tiles
Yeah.
and pieces. You have these like big towers here. Don't
Hmm.
be thrown off. This isn't anything unique, or I mean, you can get this miniature if you want
Yeah. Yeah.
in our upcoming campaign, which I don't think I've even talked about yet, but we'll talk. We'll get to that. But the Malign Tower is a new miniature, but all it's doing is just tracking whose turn has already,
Oh,
occurred.
okay.
So once one of these characters have taken their turn, we'll just place that there, and that says, "Oh, okay, the blue goblin here has finished his turn,
Hmm.
and he doesn't have to, go again or anything."
Right.
So, all right. So traditionally, when you start your journey phase in Tanares Adventures, you're going to pick a adventure card to play. So because we are kind of doing the tutorial, we are technically doing Adventure B here. It's called The Tale of Two Cities. You flip over that card, you read what the card says, which is really just a little narrative and kind of explaining what's going on. Other than that, it doesn't have a lot of other uses there, but you know that from the front of the card, it says Adventure B.
Mm-hmm.
So we will then go to our journal here, where, like I said, most of our story is going to be in.
Right.
It tells us on that table of contents on Adventure B, it was up at the top left, to go to page 11, which I have already moved here to.
Mm-hmm.
And you will follow through this kind of choose your own adventure RPG type of thing. So maybe we'll do maybe a couple of these just so people can see.
Sure.
But in the interests of, like I said, saving time, we may not go through the entire thing, but we'll show like the next part and kind of how some of these consequences can impact you.
Sure.
So, do you want to maybe read that top block there, Raymond?
Sure. All right. I'll zoom in a bit more. So the Iron Hand is gravely understaffed. Soldiers are programmed not to leave their assigned territory unless the Emperor himself so commands, and the Emperor is missing. Save for the Emperor, the position of captain is the highest in the Iron Hand hierarchy. Sedura has issued a command for portals to be destroyed if they risk falling under Kemet control, as they could grant access to almost any place on the continent with just a few successive teleports. You want me to read the rest as well?
Yeah, start into the first block there.
All right. So you see the captain in the training grounds of the Iron Hand headquarters. A crowd is gathering nearby, shouting requests and demands. Iron Hand soldiers form a line of protection around the fence to keep everyone away, but Sedura allows you in. She's not in the mood to chit chat. There's another mission for you. Sedura is about to send troops to the outer edge of Fisherman's Wharf's perimeter to distract the greater part of the Kemet currently protecting their lords. Meanwhile, your mission is to sneak through and get to the heart of their ritual. If you can interrupt it, the Kemet will lose their window of opportunity to reopen the portal, and its destruction will become irreversible. This is the last adventure quest you'll play before being on your own. So this is the first two are basically tutorial quests.
Yeah.
Do I understand that correctly? All
Correct.
right.
Yeah. So we've already skipped the first quest. We're
Yes,
starting
at the
on
second
the
one.
second tutorial quest,
Mm-hmm.
and that's there's a lot more that's being taught prior to that. But because I'm here, explaining it here with you in person, I'm trying to
Yeah.
save you guys the time from looking at that.
All right. Yeah. So
All right.
normal.
So when you're ready, go to two. So let's go into two, Raymond.
Right. You approach Fisherman's Wharf, hidden by a cornfield. After sneaking for a while, you hear voices. Hurry, this way. Keep out of sight. They're patrolling the roads. I'm tired and hurt, another voice whispers. Oh, it's a female's. Probably somebody says honey. One of them at least is a probably. I'm tired and hurt. I'm guessing here. I know, honey. Soon we'll be far enough away. Wait, stop. Shh. Oh no, they're coming. Run. You see a family of five rushing into the open. Kemet troops are coming for them. What do you do?
What
Oh
do you
no.
do, Raymond? What do you do? Do
What do you
we
do?
go with option A? What kind of hero are you if you don't help those in need? Step into the open and help that family.
Mm-hmm.
Or B, every life matters, but your priority is the millions of Tanarians who may be the next victims of the Kemet if you don't keep that portal closed. So sneak past the scene, and then we always have these in every journal.
Okay.
Let's say you're not a fan of choose your own adventures or a ton of narrative. You just like playing the quests and you want to play the game.
Right.
Choose option C. It's called the fast action mode, and it jumps you just to one more paragraph, which tells you what quest you're going to play
Mm-hmm.
and any impacts of that decision.
Right. Well, I think we could help these people. So
Okay.
if you agree, well, I go with option A.
Sure. Yeah.
And I
All
now
right.
read part three here.
Correct. Yep.
There are four enemies completely focused on that family. It gives you an opportunity to knock them out from behind. Attacking the right target the right way requires strategy and positioning. So now each hero takes a what was that? I forget the icons.
So that it's okay. That's new.
Oh,
It's a lore test.
right.
So we will look at that here in a second. So you see is a D20 plus your hero card.
Mm-hmm.
A success is
10
10
plus.
plus, and a failure is 9 or less.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a tactician, you get a +2 to your roll
Mm-hmm.
because they are the most adept at finding and exploiting advantageous positions.
Cool.
And then we'll see what happens because of that.
Right.
So let's look back at our hero cards that we have here on the left. Um, and yeah, one thing I put over here to the side while you're reading, Raymond, because
Yeah.
this is why I love doing live streams because people always correct me when I make mistakes. We actually forgot to put out the gear
Right.
that these heroes get. So full hero characters will get 2 pieces of gear, a weapon and an armor.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of the game, they're all starters, so they're the same. So it'll be like 5 plus damage on hit for a bow or the longsword. And then for the leather jacket, you are shielded 5, which basically means you will take 5 less damage.
Right.
Like I explained earlier, right? You'll get more unique gear as you progress through the game, but the comrades do not actually have this.
No.
And once we start playing, it'll probably make more sense as to why they don't.
Okay.
Let's get back to our hero cards. So we're looking here at Neri's hero card. So it says, some stuff, accuracy, shooter.
Mm-hmm.
She has a trigger and then an effect. But if we look at the bottom here under her name, we have 4 symbols. We have a hammer, a hands. It looks like an eye with a key, and then a book. So these are ability points. Each hero has their own ability points that are different. It symbolizes what that hero is, good at. So for the hammer is called force. So kind of like and this is described in the rule book. Um, so it's kind of like your brute force ability to, make things happen. The hands is your diplomacy, your ability to work with others and come to agreements on things. The eye with the key is called spycraft. It's your ability to kind of, be sneaky and kind of underhanded and do, just kind of stealthy type stuff,
Right.
right?
Right. Nice.
And then lore, which is the book, is kind of your knowledge and your mastery of different subjects.
No.
So each character has those. So when the book told us that we need to do a lore test,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to roll for each hero. And
Okay.
does it say each hero has to do it? Yeah, each hero has to do it. So I'm going to roll here as our commander. Our commander has a value of 2 lore, and I'm going to roll. So we will add whatever our D20 value is, which is a 5 plus 2, which is a 7, which unfortunately is going to be a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so nothing happens in this case. When you actually play other deeper journals, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be bad stuff that
Yeah. Yeah.
happens if you start failing a lot. So, Raymond, why don't you go and roll for Neri?
All
You
right.
have a lore of 1.
There we go. And it rolls, and it's oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
3.
it's just a 3.
Nope, not good.
Not
Nothing
good.
happening on that one. Okay, so Anariel, our bruiser, will roll, and she rolled. Wow, we are not rolling
We are
good,
not
buddy. I'm
rolling.
getting worried about this quest.
Oh
So
boy.
a 5 plus 3, that's an 8. It's slightly too low,
Oh,
so not enough there.
we needed a
Now
10.
we have Rokaru. Oh,
Tactician.
come on, buddy. You got this.
He's got a +2. Oh, 15.
Yes.
He does it.
And the person who probably needed it the least because he has a lore of 5
Yeah.
and the +2 missed. Or I'm sorry, he did hit,
He's
so
successful, yeah.
he will get the success. The hero grabs 1 cube and places it on his basic attack stat on its skill pad. In this situation, this cube, and the black one is called a fatigue cube, technically. This will represent being well positioned to attack.
Right.
All right, so then we would take one of the black cubes, which are actually down here at the bottom, and we would just place it on here to note that he has that.
Yeah.
Then it says, next, each hero must choose a different target to attack with a primary attack. Flip the attack card. It starts the quest flipped. Remember that this is usually a good thing as a cycle to reactivate items faster, which we haven't explained yet, but it's okay. We'll we'll get there. So yeah, pick an attack you want to use and a target.
Mm-hmm. So there's a fast swordsman almost reaching the family. There's a strong mace wielder close behind. We have a light troop flanking through the cornfield, and an armored leader behind on a wagon. Uh, so I guess the first target then, the fast swordsman.
Sure. All right, you got that.
Yep. And
And
they are
for
already represented on the board.
no, they aren't. This
Okay.
is all just within the journal. We
Right.
technically haven't. If you were playing normally, you wouldn't even have set up the board
Oh,
yet.
okay, okay.
So you could, if you had this in real life, right, you could probably place the color of the mana cube, right,
All
that
right.
represents,
Mm-hmm.
which hero did which.
Mm-hmm.
Probably easier than in Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, but we can do that. So I'll zoom in a bit and put that one on the top one there.
Perfect. All right. So flip one of your attack cards is what it says.
All
You
right.
just press F on the
Yeah, yeah.
keyboard over there on one of
And what
your
happens with
primary
those
attacks.
attack cards? Does it matter? Is that the one I use or
So
is...
yeah, well, yeah, we can talk about it. It's not lost. It just means that you can't use that until you cycle.
Okay.
So you're gonna use all four of your primary attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're gonna flip Arcane Shot here for the first one. You can do whatever you want in when we're coming up here, but um, anyway, so let's say this one is flipped, and
Mm-hmm.
you will start the quest. You can choose between Distracting Shot, Twin Shot, or Explosive Arrow, and then
Mm-hmm.
of course your special attacks, right?
Right.
Will still be there, but once all four of these, so you'll take your attack, right, and you
Mm-hmm.
finish. So let's say you did Explosive Arrow, you did some damage, and whether you hit or miss, you will flip the card over, and
Mm-hmm.
now that one has been flipped or used.
Used, yeah.
Um, then once it gets back to your turn in the next round, right, you'll continue taking your turns of flipping an attack as you use them, and then you will flip the last one on the fourth round, right?
Right.
Or if somebody has an ability that allows you to use maybe make multiple attacks in a turn,
Right.
you'll continue flipping them. But once you get to this, when it gets back to your turn, Raymond, you'll get to actually unflip. It's called a cycle.
Okay.
So you will cycle your cards here. The other thing that this is tied into is actually your items here.
Uh-huh.
So, Raymond, when you get to do one of your abilities, like we said, you started with explosive shot on somebody, right? You hit him. You can choose to flip the short bow, for example, and do 5 more
Extra
damage.
damage,
So
yeah.
instead of the 12, you're doing 17. You will flip that over, and then this cannot be used again until you do a card cycle. Then you'll
Right.
be able to flip it back over.
Ah, okay, that makes
Now,
sense.
kind of the choice becomes eventually you may get into a position like this, right? Where you're okay, I'm about to card cycle. Well, you only get one back.
Ah.
So you need to pick, are you going to get back your armor?
Yeah, or
Take a little less
more
damage, or are you going to
damage.
do a little more damage?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that is real quickly how a card cycle works. Like I said, when we're playing, we'll probably run into that and
Yeah.
go through that as well.
Okay. Good.
So
Yeah, let me see
per
which
the
one do I
journal
flip over.
instructions,
Let's
yeah, we
quickly
gotta flip one.
take a
So
look at
for a
these guys.
comrade character, they actually can't flip their card because they only have one attack, and there is no card cycling
Mm-hmm.
for comrades.
Yeah, the comrades only.
So in this case, and I think this is described in the rule book, but since I've been playing mostly with just full characters for a while. I'm a little unsure what happens right now when you do get in a situation like this. I may have to look it up here later, unless somebody in the chat, like I see Adria in here. She actually has already finished the campaign.
Oh, wow, that is super fast.
Yes. Yes, already she has
Oh my
finished it. I
gosh.
think she got her game back in like February or March or something. So she's had a little time to do it, but her and
Cool.
her husband kind of just plowed through the campaign. Um, so I'm sure she can correct me as what you'll do, but we'll just kind of skip the tactician
Mhm.
and just pick somebody else here. Do vitality, sword.
Yeah, I'll flip that one. Seems least powerful.
That one. Okay. So we go back to our journal. So then it says go to 4. So, so we go to the next block. Each hero must roll a die.
Mm-hmm.
Heroes that succeed on their test. Um, see, so fatigue cube on their basic attack roll with bless. So specifically, our tactician here will get to be blessed when he rolls.
All right.
Um, this means that if you roll equal to higher than the target defense, deal the chosen primary attack damage, ignore effects and basic passive powers, otherwise deal the attack residual damage. Each enemy has different HP values. Do not track their HP. If your damage reaches that amount or greater, the target is defeated. Otherwise, if it counters attacks, dealing damage to the hero that attacked it. Okay, so Raymond, why don't you roll the dice here for your you attack the fast swordsman.
The blue die still
You
here.
need to
Here
get
it
an
is.
8 or better.
All right, let's go.
All right,
Roll it. Boom. And we got a
not good to
15.
a start.
Hit
Not
the
good.
5. That's just a
Yep,
5.
yep. So,
What?
like when you play the normal game, you do 5 residual damage
Mm-hmm.
with that. But in this journal thing here, it specifically says you will take 8 counterattack damage. So Neri there
That's the
will need
fast
to
swordsman here.
move her down 8 on the HP track.
Hang on. If I choose to boost that attack right now, I've got 5. Can I do that with an extra? No, I just need to roll. The roll needs to be successful. This is just the damage output, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's just more damage.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So these we try to keep it pretty simple within the journal
Mm-hmm.
that you're not doing a lot of extra mechanics because we'll get to that. We'll be able to like influence our roles, but in the journal it's a little simpler. Um, so let's see the tactician because he had that black cube from earlier, he'll be blessed. And I'm just going down the list, which was the second guy, just for simplicity.
Yeah, sure.
And defense of 6, so he does defeat him. And what does it say? Okay, so the strong mace wielder has been killed.
And I took 8
Anariel,
damage, correct? So I'll
yep.
token here.
Anaria rolls a 17, so she
5,
kills the
6,
next
7,
person on
8.
the list, which was a light troop. And then a 7 on the comrade rolled, which is a miss for the armored leader. So the commander will take 6 counterattack damage. Okay.
Okay.
And then it says after all surviving enemies counterattacked, you manage to overcome them. Weakened bandits are no match for heroes like you. Right. Then we go to 5.
Right. Thank you,
You
my
want to read this? Go
friends.
ahead.
The head of the family exclaims as they continue to run away from Fisherman's Wharf. Put a black cube on slot 2. So on 2 on the
Okay.
HP
So
track.
I'll just grab this one that we had here from earlier.
Okay, so sometimes black
Place
cubes are
that
used
there.
on the HP track or on a hero stat to track some specific situation that happened during the journal. After its effect is checked, usually before the quest starts, remove them from the track. Okay, the sun is setting. Now that you're out in the open, you take a shortcut on the road, speeding up to reach the Kemet Lords in time. Go to 6. So I'll take this
And
cube
we
off.
would go to 6. And there we go. Go to the quest guide and set up quest 2. Know your
Oh,
enemy.
know your enemy.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
then the next part, so we go to the quest guide over here, up here at the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to explain to us some rules, which we will also talk about here in a second. And then it gives you the setup instructions. So on the left, you'll see some like quests and things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and honestly, this is actually easier in real life than it is in Tabletop
Yeah, yeah,
Simulator as well,
obviously. Yeah.
because we can do this though, right? We can pretend like we are a person that actually has a real book, and you would lay it out like this right on your board so you can see the full quest. So
Yeah,
your
yeah.
instructions will all be pretty much always be on the left, and then the map on the
Yeah,
right.
that's how the book rolls out. Yeah.
So, and it'll tell us here some things to set up. Like I said, we'll go into that.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. So it says place all heroes on the stairs. Each may reassign 2 skill tokens. Probably a good thing to address this, since I did actually see a BGG question about this.
Yeah.
The idea of this is everything that we've set up before, Raymond, right? Just like what we did, you have chosen your skills and then you start doing the journal. Well, once you get to the quest, you can see what's coming, right? Like you have a little bit better idea of what the board is going to look like.
Yeah.
So the idea is you get a little bit of flexibility to change some of your skills to something else, maybe something that gives us more movement, right?
Mm.
Instead of something that gives us more damage, or better rolls or something, right?
Mm.
But it still kind of restricts you a little bit, so that way you have kind of a downside of it too, right? Like the choices you made still need to have some kind of importance.
Yes, of course. Yeah. All right.
Okay, and then yeah, we place these guys. So let me quickly talk about this because it may confuse people why I have goblins on the board here.
Yeah.
So if we look here on the map in this first room with the stairs, it has a number. So that number corresponds to a villain card, which are these cards here on this right-hand side.
Yes.
Well, normally you're going to place the villain number card that matches with that one that's on the map, right?
Yeah.
And the color should also correspond. So, for example, this 15R that was on the map
Right.
is right there, 15.
Yep.
And so we're going to use this Reaper,
Okay.
and there's the Reaper miniature.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see where he's placed.
Yep.
But I have specifically replaced number 94 and 93
Yeah.
because they're actually level 3
Oh.
Spectre characters.
Okay.
So they do a ton of damage. They have a lot of life. And it's really not, I mean, it's fun. It'll still make this a challenging thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to take us much longer to play through this
Right.
first room. And like I said, we want to try to give something, manageable for our viewers here
Exactly.
to watch.
Right.
So I have replaced them with the same colors, but easier enemies for us to handle.
Right.
That way everyone can kind of experience more of the game and we're not spending quite as much time getting through it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, and then we have placed some Kemet Lords, which are kind of like the main villain characters here in the game. They have their own names on the board there, and then it says, then after reading the special rules, which is here on the left, go to the journal, the first section of the quest guide, and then so it says as the first mana shield, red boss token drops to 0, then we'll read 2.2. 2.2 corresponds to the back into the journal. So maybe some people might remember the adventure chapter here were all letters, but our quest chapters are numbers. So it's a little confusing at first, and there actually is going to be some changes to how this happens. This kind of flipping through the books and things like that.
Okay.
For the Tanares Ultimate Edition, which is a Kickstarter campaign we have coming up on June 27th.
Okay.
Um, but it's going to kind of condense some of this, so there's not quite as much flipping. But to me, I've been playing this long enough. I don't think it's quite as bad as maybe some people have. It's just a bit much when you're not used to it, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we're
All right.
gonna flip to here, quest chapter 2.
Two.
So when it says 2.2, it means quest chapter 2, paragraph
Paragraph two.
2.
Yeah. All right. These
So
chemists.
pretty simple stuff.
Yeah. Straightforward. These Kemet are clearly more powerful than the rest, but the ritual has made them temporarily weak, as if they were about to faint. Let's see. Is this a Kemet
Oh,
speaking?
wait. Are you reading 2.2? Hold
Yeah.
on, we haven't gotten to that part
Oh,
yet.
we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Yeah, so once we've beaten like the first I think like room or something, we'll read that.
All right.
But we actually start this first section. So it says, for this first quest, we'll ask you to check for facts that impact the circumstances of your game.
All right. Right.
So right, you remember how we marked slot 2 with that cube earlier?
Yes. Wait, let me
Right.
check. That's
So
here.
if we look here on the consequences of our action,
Mm-hmm.
it says slot 2 fatigue cube. Mark the fact Warfers saved. This means that if you have a cube on slot 2, you have gained this fact. This
Mm-hmm.
list of facts is organized alphabetically in the campaign log and has a slot for you to mark that it's gained. So,
Okay. We did good.
in real life, right, you're just going to take a little pen or pencil or whatever and mark it.
You mark it
Tabletop
right
Simulator,
there
you open the
in the log.
decals. Yep.
Yes. So Warfer saved.
So we're going to go down Warfter saved.
Oh, cool. Look at
Boom.
that.
We have done that.
Yep. Alphabetical
All
order,
right.
so that's good.
And then these other things here, it mentions like, oh, if you've completed quest 1, Fisherman Warfers, which you're going to do, you'd remove a bad guy, but we're going to skip that since we already have some easier characters on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, this is, like I said, that interaction between the journal of our choices and how it impacts our quest. And every quest will have this kind of thing where, you have, some repercussions for your actions, good and negative.
Yep. So that's definitely.
So then it says, quest 2, know your enemy begins now. So take the first turn. We didn't talk about the special rules, but basically what it is we will take this boss token here. It starts on 70. So the Kemet Lords are doing this special ritual, right? And they have a shield that is protecting them. Well, every time we use our skill tokens here, to power, these other abilities will actually cause some damage to that shield. In fact, 10 damage each time a skill is used. And while this ritual is going and that mana shield is up, at the end of a round, it says a hero takes 5 damage. So it's kind of a way to kind of keep us moving too, right? We can't take too long in these rooms trying to just fight the villains and not use our abilities. The other part of this is crystal deposits. So if you look here on the board, we have some barrels right, that are on different parts of the board. In this first room, we have one. And it says when you use an interact, we'll remove that, and each hero will gain 1 cube. So we'll all get mana cubes for somebody interacting with that.
Okay.
I'll explain that in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have read the rules. We got everything set up here on the board. We're actually pretty much ready to play now.
Cool.
You have any other questions before we get started, or anybody else have some questions?
I've got no questions in chat. But it's fun that you have this a little bit of an actual RPG thing going on before you actually start the dungeon crawl part.
Yeah.
that's nice to get into the story. You have some side things going on, like the family we just rescued, and to get you in the mood. And to like you said, the decisions you make have an impact on the rest of the story, and that's very interesting. I like that a lot.
Great. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, and there's all kinds of different things you'll do in interactions. There's even like little mini games in some of the stories where you
Mm.
have to like do like a Where's Waldo type thing within like a certain period of time, and it's
Cool,
fun.
cool.
A lot of cool things in there.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, so let's talk about playing here.
Yeah,
All right, so it seems like a lot already. An hour and a half into this.
yeah.
But if anyone that has been familiar with Arena the Contest, there is still quite a bit of similarities. There is some differences, but basically, each person will take a turn. And once all four heroes and all of the villains have taken their turn, that'll be the end of the round. But each
Yes.
turn for a hero, so let's pretend we are going to be let's say we're Anariel here. She's gonna kick us off here for the first turn.
Sure.
So she can do a prime action and a movement action. So we talked earlier about the movement action. She
Mm-hmm.
has a movement value of 5,
5.
and so she can use that to move. She can also use some of that movement to interact.
Mm.
So let's actually do that. So Anariel is going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's going to use her last movement to unlock this barrel here.
Yeah.
And everyone gets a mana cube.
Cool.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
Even
Yeah.
even our comrade character
Ah.
will get one as well. Yep, and we just place them in this little slot here
Yep.
on
On
the
your
right side of the board,
mana
and
slot,
you can
mana
hold up
pool,
to 5, which most of the time is pretty simple to remember because you
because you have
only
five
have
cubes.
5 cubes of that
Exactly.
color. Um, we have some special other cards that can modify this actually, where you can get more mana cubes than you could normally have, but we won't try to overload people with that yet. So Anariel has taken her move action. She has a prime action. I say prime action because, as maybe you remember before, Raymond, right? You could use your prime action to do another movement action instead of doing what most of the time you'll probably do, which is an attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. True.
So we're going to do a an attack here, and let's choose to do. Let's do Sword of Sigils here. So Anariel has moved around into a position. She's going to attack this orange goblin here with Sword of Sigils, which is a range 2 attack. That's what that spear at the top
Oh,
left
it
means,
says,
and it
yep.
also tells you the number of squares. Tells you what kind of target, which is only 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then that symbol right next is the hit damage if we make it, and then you'll apply the effects if you hit. If you
Right.
don't, you will do the bottom part of the card which says miss 5
5
R
residual
damage, which is
damage.
residual
Yes.
damage. So Anariel will take her roll here and
There goes the die.
see what happens.
5. We
Oh
roll a lot of
boy.
fives.
Yep, yep. So we are, yeah, not rolling super well today.
No.
So since we're learning, we'll give ourselves a little bit of grace here. Um, so true strike.
Yeah.
You have a true strike skill here. So it says on an ally's turn, which it is currently,
Mm-hmm.
before the roll, which technically should have occurred before I rolled,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
let's just pretend you wanted to help
Yeah. I
me,
was
right?
gonna
We're,
say
we're helping people learn here at the same time, right? So you will flip that token over.
that. All right.
You will take that cube off your mana pool here to indicate that you have, paid for that skill.
Mm-hmm. Because
And
it's one
now
cube.
an arrow is actually blessed. So that 5 is her hopefully bad roll. And
Oh,
yes, the
17 is the
second
second
roll
roll.
is a 17, which is a success. We can check on the villain card
Huzzah.
here. So looking here at the villain,
Yes, you're attacking
His
this one.
defense is 5.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a hit.
Yay.
And we will apply that damage. So that is 11 damage to our orange villain. So he is
Yes.
down at 24.
And that is on the
And
card here.
we
It says 11 damage plus an effect. And this is
exactly.
also
And
where
then
if you have a skill that adds extra damage, you can add it to that damage right now, right? So for example, if I
yeah,
have,
if
like the sword here does plus 5 damage,
correct, yeah.
you could
Sure,
technically,
let's do it.
or
Let's do it.
flip it over.
Why not? Let's get crazy.
You
All
deal
right,
more
so we did
damage
5 more
and
damage to
flip
that
this over.
goblin there.
Yep.
Also, a thing to note here, Raymond,
Yep.
is you can only do 1 skill per turn. So you did this one, for example, so you couldn't also do this ability,
Yeah, you can
right?
do too. Yeah.
Because you've already taken your one skill per turn. So
Right.
just so people are aware.
Okay.
Okay, and then we apply this card. You are protected 3 once per turn. Basically, this increases Anariel's defenses. So instead of her having a defense of 7, now she's up at 10.
Oh,
That's a 15%, a
increase
reduction of
defense. Yeah.
being able to hit there. So, and then an ally swaps places with an enemy if both are in 5 of you, which there is. Although I don't want to swap right now, so I'm just not going to do that part,
Yeah.
and that's
Okay.
okay. Um, so that will be that. One other part, because this was the quest mechanic, right?
Right.
Is you did a skill. Good job. So the mana shield there, which is tracked with that token, goes down by 10.
Right. Because that's if we use a skill that damages the mana shield, which was explained here.
Yeah. Adria is made a comment here. This is actually a favorite for a lot of people on the shooter.
Okay.
Which you didn't go with, which is okay. But there's actually an option to an after the roll.
Right.
Where that would have worked as well. All legit.
Yeah, yeah. Does that only apply to myself then, or to my character?
No, it actually applies to whoever's turn it is.
Oh.
So after that roll, when I made a 5, you could have, if you had that ability, you would have been able to pay 3 of your hit points to then add 3 to my result, which would have been a hit.
Ah. Okay.
Oh yeah, there you go. But anyway, you did the blessed thing. We fudged it a little bit here, but that's okay. Everyone's learning.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the big differences here between Arena the Contest and Tanares Adventures is villains no longer just idly sit by until it's their turn.
Okay.
They're actually going to immediately retaliate after they are attacked. So let's look to see what happens here. So we attack this orange goblin here. So he is going to take his turn. And I didn't plan any of this. I just want to make sure. So if anyone's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that move," like I didn't think this far, guys. But when you do play the game, you will need to consider these. But since we're trying to just educate people, we're trying to make it as simple as possible here. So our goblin here, the noxious goblin, he has a range 1 attack. And then you'll see here at this top right, it says minus HP. That means everything that's written at the top right of the card is the favorite target.
Oh.
That is basically like the villain AI. What do they attack? Right? In Arena of the Contest, a lot of the villain AI usually ended up being whoever was the closest with the lowest HP.
Yeah.
No longer is that the case. Now they follow favorite targets. There is some additional rules. So usually it's like favorite target, then the shortest path. Then there is taking the least amount of damage. That's what it is. So if you have like equal paths, then you would then try to take the least amount of damage. But oftentimes villains actually will end up just injuring themselves. But that's by design. We want this to happen because between the movement that you choose to make and the villains you attack, you're kind of building up this like puzzle of, well, because I attack this guy, he's going to take a reaction attack, which is actually what's going to happen here.
Right.
So this villain, he's going to go for the lowest HP.
Lowest
So we look
HP.
at our track. He's going to go for Neri.
Mm-hmm.
So Neri is within 5 movement from him, and so he will go and attack you.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just going to go up here like this.
Yep.
And we can choose as long as it's still following those other rules.
Right.
So this is the shortest path. So we could do like this because this actually kind of helps us a little bit more.
Yeah.
But an aerial, since that goblin left a square that was adjacent to an aerial, takes a reaction attack. Go back here.
Ah.
Reaction attack 8. So that goblin now takes 8 more damage from an aerial. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So now this goblin's actually going to get to do his attack here. He's ready for this. And we will. I'm trying to think if we should use a skill or we should kind of just keep going. Let's just go. We'll go here. Roll the dice, and I bet you I'm going to roll. Yep, I knew it. I'm rolling for the enemies.
For the
guys.
enemy, you roll high.
Yeah. Okay, so that will definitely exceed
my
defense of 6.
6.
Yep.
Even if I should use my my leather jacket, then I
could. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I'd be.
This is an opportunity.
Let's see. Does that add to my defense?
So it doesn't add to your defense. It adds to a shielded 5 means that you take 5 less damage, whether it is a hit or it is a residual damage value.
All right. So and the goblin does how many damage with that attack? I think 13.
So the goblin will do 13 damage on hit, but he actually also has his own passive abilities, which we haven't really talked about yet, but villains and heroes have passives.
Right.
For villains, their triggers are always the same for their color. So all orange villains will have the same trigger here of another hero is in range 2 of the target. That's what the brackets means.
Right, yeah.
And which is the case. So he will deal +3 damage and then move 3 this villain away from the target. So he will do 3 more damage. So in total, it's 16. So you want to move your health down by 16.
Yeah.
And then if you want to use that shielded, go for it.
That's 11 then. It's still a lot.
Yep. And then he will move 3 away from the target.
So that's 36.
Oop. He'll just move over there.
He'll run away, yeah.
And the last part is the target loses a cube from its mana pool, which you've already done. So no worries.
No worries.
No worries. All right. And then we put that malign tower there just to remind us. Like I said, if you don't have these miniatures, that's perfectly okay. These black cubes that we used earlier, you could use those instead.
Anything to mark that they have taken their turn. Yeah.
Exactly. So usually you'll use the black cubes as that's kind of like the universal token.
Yeah.
But there is other things if you wanted, of course, as well.
Yeah.
All right. So that goblin is done. Now it's back to the hero's turn.
All right. So want me to take a turn?
Feel free to play any of the heroes, by the way. I'm actually just checking the comments to see.
Yeah. All right. So I've got this goblin that attacked me over there and has 11 hit points left. Let me check my skills if there's anything that does that amount of damage. So this card, for example, deals 11 damage. Let's see, is there anything else? This does up to 2 enemies, and this is one that's 12 with effect. So I think I could try. Well, the distracting shot, on the other hand, it has got a nice distracted 3, which could be helpful on another, because if I deal 11, it's dead. And this one has, let's see, you may move the target 1 square. Well, I think that's less
Well, that could still be good, although it may not actually matter for that villain because he's actually almost about to die.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to kill it. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to decide if
But
this.
you could do it on the blue guy. Oh wait, never mind. It's only one away. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah. I'm ranged, so I need to be at a certain distance, right?
Yep. Yeah. So let's talk about passives a little bit more.
Okay.
So we talked about villain passives.
Hmm.
And this is kind of a good way. I personally suggest everyone to try to, not every time, but a lot of the time, try to build your strategy to use your passive. That is how you're going to maximize your potential as a team, is using those passives every time.
Hmm.
A lot of people in Arena of the Contest actually
Disappear.
really struggled with the game because they would either forget
All right.
or they just didn't think about it. But these are very powerful. So yours, right, is
Right.
a target is 4 or more away from you on the
Mhm.
first hit of your turn, and you will get to deal 6 additional damage, or you can deal 3 damage to
Two
2 enemies.
enemies. Mm. All right. Target is four or more away from you. And does that target
So
need to be the one I'm attacking, or can that be a different target?
it has to be, yeah, the one that you're
Yeah.
targeting with your attack.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So luckily, you're already in a good spot.
This
This
is
goblin
four
has
away.
already moved back.
Yeah.
Yep, 4 away. So you're good.
Exactly four.
If you were closer, then it'd be a different
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. Okay. And that triggers after I attack it.
Yeah, you
It
have to successfully hit. That's
hit.
why it says first hit of your turn.
Oh yes, it does say there. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm gonna use my explosive arrow. Oh, that needs to be
Okay.
8 squares is the maximum, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's the maximum.
Yeah. So I'll be
So
able
it can be less than that.
to reach it, and it targets one enemy. That's fine. I get a +2 bonus to my roll, and ignore all helpful conditions on the target. Well, the target doesn't have any helpful conditions right now, I think. But I get a +2 on my roll.
Correct.
Right. All right. So I'll use that. I'll take my die right here, and I will roll it. There we go. Boom. Ooh,
Got him.
that's
Which one were you attacking, by the
10.
way?
Yeah, the orange one right here that
The orange one. Okay,
that
that's fine.
attacked me. That's almost dead. That one. So that
Yep.
means I hit it because I rolled a 10, right? And it has a
Correct.
defense of 5
Of
on the
5.
left there. Exactly. So it does take the damage. It's a successful hit, and it takes 12 damage plus an effect, but the effect is just to move it, but it's dead, so it gets taken off the board. So I flip this over. That's the skill I used,
Yep.
and
And
yeah,
we'll
that
remove
one's
him from the
gone.
board, and everyone gets a mana cube.
Plus, oh, we get a mana cube as well.
Correct. Yeah. Whenever you kill a villain,
Oh,
everyone gets a mana cube.
nice. So now the residual or the passive effect triggers
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
well, that target was exactly four away from me. I did hit it,
Yep.
and the effect is deal 6 damage, but don't need to. So I can now deal 3 damage to 2 enemies, right? Is that
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
And but those enemies, is there a range for that?
So anytime you don't see a range listed, and this is actually written on your pad as well to help
Ah,
remind players,
right.
unless stated otherwise, the targets of effects need to be in vision and in range 8 of
8
you, including skills, attacks, items,
and
passive
passive
powers. So
power.
in
There
this
it
case,
is.
yes, you can still do it as long as they're within 8.
Five,
One,
six,
two, three,
seven.
four, five,
Both of
six,
them.
7, 8. Well, this guy we can't technically attack. Oh, actually, you can. Now you can attack their mana shields.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could apply it to both of these guys.
Oh, it's probably better than attacking the goblin, right? Because these guys are stronger. We have this
Yeah, so
necromancer and this
be
archer.
yeah, so because it says the deal +6 damage, it kind of assumes that that was the target that you attacked. You're
Hmm.
doing more damage versus you're splitting your damage across.
Right.
So I think the intent of this one is, to split it to two other villains.
Hmm.
It could be that same one, but
Of
you'd
course.
be able to apply it to these guys, I think.
Yeah, let's do it. So,
All right. The mana shield will take 3 damage.
yep.
The blue villain here will take some damage as well.
Hmm.
And okay, so this is actually a good clarification on what to do now, right?
Right.
Because we've killed this villain and nobody else was technically attacked, right?
Hmm.
Um, so there's no really retaliation at this point because nobody um, was part of your
Uh-huh.
attack. If you had used, let's say, Twin Shot, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
the retaliation works by the first villain that is unfatigued, and that's what these
Yeah.
trackers are tracking.
Hmm.
Is the first unfatigued villain will retaliate.
Right.
Well, had you attacked the goblin, and then let's say this blue goblin, the orange goblin, and then the blue goblin,
Hmm.
actually the blue goblin would retaliate. But because it didn't happen like that, it's back to us. So it's our turn now. And this
So,
this blue one's not
so to just have it all clear here.
sure.
So that
Yep.
effect, that passive, dealt 3 damage to two targets, to two enemies. One of them was one
Yep.
of these Kemet Lords. I mean, these two are both Kemet Lords, considered Kemet Lords, or is it just the Necromancer?
Yes.
Okay, these two.
Both of them.
All right. So I attacked one of those, both of those, or did I attack one of them and the
I
Goblin?
I think what you said you were doing was the
Yeah,
the blue goblin and
yeah,
then
yeah.
this
Okay,
archer
okay,
here.
cool. So since I attacked a Kemet Lord with that passive skill, is that considered an attack? Because it's passive
Uh
skill?
no, it's actually an effect.
Right, it's an effect.
So the only thing that will make them do something is an attack.
Hmm.
So even if, let's say, it was the villain's turn, you could also do, like a skill. A skill also does not cause a retaliation.
Oh,
So and this is kind of the puzzling part of the game, right?
hmm,
You want to try to make the villains deal the least amount of damage to the heroes because they do a lot. I mean, I made it easy on us for this
yeah,
first room,
with these
Raymond, but
guys.
in
Yeah,
the next room, it's gonna pick up,
yeah.
and they're gonna be doing a lot of damage. We got this red zombie over here. He does 18 damage
Oh,
on hit, and then he can deal 6 damage to somebody else. And there's ones that do significantly more. As you get further into the game, you got villains that are doing 25 damage on hit and then like a 10 damage on your passive. And for most heroes, that's like half their health,
yeah. Oh boy.
right? So you're trying to mitigate as much of that damage as you can.
All right. So what I was trying to
So
figure out is that let's see, with the mana shield thing. So this
so yeah, I've already moved it for you
yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah,
I
yeah.
did the 3 damage.
I know. So the portal here is that resembles the mana shield?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that's where they're like performing their ritual
That's
right now.
that's right. Okay. So let's see. Single mana shield protects two Camelot. Yes, that's what it said. That's the boss
Yep.
token. Whenever you attack targets a Camelot Lord, but we did do that, so we don't need to roll against the mana shield's defense. But whenever you deal damage to a Camelot Lord, which happened with the passive, reduce the mana shield's HP instead. Right. That's what happened here.
Yeah.
Okay. Clear.
Yeah, so there's a couple ways to damage them. You can either damage them directly with like an attack, or you can damage them with skill effects.
Right.
And so you did your passive on that one.
Yep. Cool.
So anyway, so you also have a movement action. You can move if you would
True. I
like.
can still move. Let's see. I mean, since I'm ranged, I don't need to be that close, and most of my attacks have a pretty good range of 8 squares, or all of them 8 squares. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe for this one, I'll just move one forward then, maybe diagonally. Because there's, oh wait, actually
Yeah.
this is a wall, the barricade. You can hide behind the barricade, right? Or
So a barricade is it prevents movement through, but you have vision, so you can shoot over it.
right, but it
But it
doesn't.
will block the movement, so you got to go around if you want to
So it
get
only
past the
blocks
barricade.
movement. It doesn't give you
Yep,
like you can still attack over it, but it doesn't give you like a
correct.
slight increase of defense. Some games do
Nope.
that. Okay, good. Then it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. They're
Um,
pretty simple in these ones.
yeah. No, good. Yeah, I think I'm in range of all of them right now, so I'll just stay there. Turn her around a
Okay.
bit to face. There you
All right. Let's see here. Maybe we can do, and he's pretty far. One, two, three, four, five. No, he can
go.
make it.
Is there
Okay,
something I
let's
can
let's
do?
go over what a comrade can do,
Mhm.
so that way people can kind of see how they play. Um, so we have Rakaru here, who is going to take his turn. He's going to do his movement. One, two, three, four, five.
Uh-huh.
And then we look at his attack card. So very similar to the other ones, just looks a little bit different.
Mhm.
So at the top, we have a benefit. Every time you use an attack, and this is true of regular attack cards, which you actually did earlier, I believe, you get this benefit, right? So you can either add one to your attack roll, or you can move two.
Cool.
Um, let's I mean, he may not have been the best one to start with, but it's okay. We'll just go with the +1 to our attack roll
Yeah.
because we've been rolling horribly.
Yeah.
And we will have him roll his attack.
What is it? Oh,
20. Oh,
natural
wow. We just got a
20.
critical.
Ah,
So
sweet.
whenever you get a natural 20, that is a critical. So you
Hmm.
do 5 additional damage.
Wow.
So this will be 16 damage
Hmm.
on hit. He's going to be taking a beating there. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Oop.
And then we read the rest of the card. So
Yes.
choose one, deal +2 damage, and move to the target. Or you can gain a cube.
Cube.
I'm going to go with option A, and you'll see
Okay.
why. So he'll take 2 more damage.
Yeah.
14. He's going to move 2. He's going to go
Into
1,
the pit.
2.
Nice.
Ouch.
Ouch. Into the spike
Ouchies.
pit.
That is 4 more damage
Hmm.
from the terrain. And so yeah, that's it for the effect. I guess I probably should have clarified too. Technically, the passives happen before our effects do.
Hmm.
This will be important where you have some characters that have maybe they have a passive effect that gives them like more damage or healing or something if they have a certain number of conditions on a target, which is like positive or negative conditions, like the empowered and protected and stuff like that. But technically, this passive happens before that. We didn't get the passive this time. That's okay. I just figured I'd just kind of show how the comrade's working. But his normally is an ally is in range 1 of the target, the first hit of the turn, and then he would get to move through the target and then blast 7, which blast means every person that is adjacent to him would take 7 damage. So it's quite a bit of damage there.
Oh, interesting.
Unfortunately, like I said, I didn't get that. If I thought about this more, I probably would have planned it out better, but we're just going with this one.
Yeah.
Um, all right, and now that blue character is going to retaliate. So
Okay.
he is going to attack, and we're going back here, looking at the top right of the card. He is going for the furthest away.
Right.
That's what that
Yeah.
means. Those 2 brackets.
Plus is the most, and the
So
brackets is
current,
distance. Yeah. So here in the
yep,
most
yep.
distance,
So
it's me
the
again. I get
person
no.
who is
Actually, that
So the
is
person who's the furthest away is
Lana.
Lana here.
Ah,
Yeah,
I'm glad I
she is
moved.
the farthest away. So we're gonna do some fun interaction stuff here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully, I think. Did you get one of these? Okay, well, we're gonna do a couple things here. So that villain is going to start taking his turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have, as we've seen before, we have our ally turn here
Right.
on the skill pads, and then on the right hand side we can do during the villain's turn. So we can kind
Oh.
of mess with him, right? So this villain, he's going to start trekking this way on his way over, and we'll just do the full movement here. So he needs to go 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's as close as he needs to get because he actually has a range to
All right.
attack.
Yep.
But him doing that, he suffers a reaction
Yep.
from Rikaru.
From Rikaru,
Right.
because he
So if we
was
look here
adjacent.
at Rikaru's card, that's 7 damage.
Reaction 7. Ooh.
Boom. And now I think you got a pretty cool
Yeah.
skill there
I have this one that,
that you can use.
yeah, I can flip this shock, and
Yup.
villain takes 3 damage, and I have a
3
cube to
damage.
spend, so I will spend
Boom.
that cube.
Which is exactly the amount of damage that
Exactly.
we need to kill
So I
the
zap
big
him out of
goblin.
existence. I disintegrate.
Boom. And he is gone. And by that, we all get a mana cube.
I get it back. Fantastic.
Get it right back, man.
Yeah.
And
Sweet.
and that's it. So this is a perfect example of how you work together to combine your skills,
Mm-hmm.
right? Between throwing him onto spikes to also not even just throwing him onto the spikes, but also that I put him right next to me. So that way I'd force a reaction attack on him,
Yes,
right?
clever.
Taking that 7, and then we use your skill to kill him off. So there's
Mm-hmm.
great combo potentials here, depending on what heroes and abilities you're working with.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's cool.
so and then you use the skill, so they take 10 damage to their
Shield.
mana shield,
Yep.
and that is it. Let's see, where's the red one? Did I forget to place the red one? Don't. Oh man, don't tell me I forgot the red guy.
I think you did.
I did.
Because
Oh
he's
boy, that's
next to
embarrassing.
the. Well, let's see. Yeah, because these are the
He's a little
lords.
further down,
Yeah,
so it
he's
wouldn't have
there.
changed anything.
Yeah.
But just yeah,
No,
he
that's no
belongs
problem.
there. Okay.
The Reaper.
All right. So similar situation. There's no retaliation cause from that, and we're going to continue. So Neri, Rikaru, and Anariel have taken their turn. Now it's our commander's turn.
Right.
So let's talk about commanders. So commanders, right? They have 2 different miniatures
Yep.
that are controlled together through different abilities and just their own actions.
Right.
So the Pegasus has its own like natural ability here, which is the Pegasus is hastened and it may ignore terrain effects.
Mm-hmm.
Hasten means it doesn't incite reaction attacks.
Oh.
You never have to worry about those. And it also ignores those terrains. So even if that Pegasus is going over those spikes,
Mm-hmm.
nothing ain't going to
Nothing.
damage him.
Just flies over.
So he's just flying over, right?
Right.
Um, and so it always starts by the commander character themselves going first, and
Yeah.
then their pet will follow.
Right.
So you kind of need to plan what you're going to do because of that. Because it's a little bit of, you're going to combo those abilities together, as you'll
Yeah.
see here with the trigger effect for the commander. So she has to be within range 5 of the companion
Mm-hmm.
to trigger her passive. So we're going to look at her abilities here.
Well, it says the companion
Let's
hits an enemy in 5
yeah,
spaces away of you. So
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta work together here to do this. So we're gonna go with Rain of Steel. She's gonna use that, but before she does that, she's gonna take her movement action.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, let's go with that. So she'll go 4. This is a range, range 8 ability. She's gonna attack the Red Reaper. So benefit, she gets this without even doing anything. It's just part of, a benefit. So after declaring the target, which is the red villain, deal 8 damage to another villain within one of it. Which, oh, now that I think about it, I thought this one was one
No,
over. Let's see. Do we have an ability to help her out?
to move something
Uh,
around. Let's
yeah,
see.
so because there is abilities that allow movement of villains.
I do have a ability that says at the start of turn you can move a villain 3.
Yep, but that's on the villain turn. So
Oh, right, we're
unfortunately,
now
we
again
can't
on the
use
hero's
it.
turn. That's right, we're on the
Yeah.
left again. Yes.
Yep, we're on the left-hand side right now. Well, let's see. An aerial, pull 6. So
Oh,
maybe, let's see. Let me check
pull,
the rules on
pull
this
an enemy.
because I'm not sure if you can technically pull a Kemet Lord.
I
Uh,
I would think they were still inside their shield.
yeah, it says it. Oh, it specifically says here at the top cannot be moved.
Right
So
here.
unfortunately, we can't do that. That's okay.
Kemet Lords
We're
cannot be
just
moved
gonna
and
go
take no
here
turns.
with
Yeah.
it anyway. So nobody's in one, so we don't get that, but she will roll to do that attack anyway. 15, that's a hit. So he
Nice.
will take 8 damage. And let's flip the bow. So he will
How
do
much was that? There was Rain
a
of
little bit
Steel. Yep.
more.
Deals 8 damage. Okay.
The okay,
Flip
and
that over.
then now the Pegasus will take their turn. So they have their own card here,
Hmm.
and it says, they have a 4 basic attack value and a movement 8, which is actually higher than all the other
Yeah. It's
uh,
fast. Yeah.
pets. So yeah, he's fast. So she's gonna just fly over here. We have enough. We don't really need to guess on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it here.
Yes, within.
And now that pet will make their turn, and we roll the dice. Basic attacks have a benefit of a +1 on the roll. We don't need it because we got the 10, but
10
that's okay. And we'll do 4 more damage
basic attacks. Yep.
to this. And then we will get a passive. So companion hits an enemy in 5, which just did happen. So I can pay 4 hit points to gain a cube and move to the target. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know if we really
Do we
need it
want to
right
do
now.
that? You would gain a cube and you
I
move a
could get a
target too,
cube.
but I mean, you could move him into a pit.
Well, two is not going to be
Oh,
enough,
oh no,
right?
no,
Because it's
no,
only
right.
be two
This,
two
yeah,
squares.
this is us.
So
This is all us.
maybe
It's just
not.
the
I might
Reaper.
skip this one
One,
this
two.
time.
Yeah, yeah, because both pits are too far away. It's just you need 3. You
I
need
mean, I could
3.
do it just for the cube. Another thing is you can get some kind of positioning bonus where essentially, like the next time people are attacking, you can increase your chance to hit from like surrounding the enemy. You may remember the term is called mobbed.
Yeah.
And there's other things you can do, right? Range characters can use focus, which is very
Yes.
kind of similar.
That's
So
nice. But you already have like
let's
3
just
cubes, so I wouldn't sacrifice health.
Yeah, let's just skip it this time.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. So the Reaper is now going to take his turn. He is going to do 17 damage on hit to the highest HP person, which is an aerial. So he's just going to sidestep
Oh,
here.
is it an
So
arrow? Oh yeah, over here.
you remember sidestep, right? That's an option to use all of your movement to avoid a reaction attack.
Oh, cool.
You get to move 1 square. So that's what
Yes.
this Reaper is going to do. He's doing that because if he doesn't, he actually will take a reaction from the Pegasus.
Oh,
But like I said, he needs to take, right? He's looking for his favorite target. He's taking the shortest path, which he did. And then he also needs to take the least amount of damage possible.
okay.
So that's why he's sidestepping. So he will take no damage from that reaction attack, but he will now make the attack on an aerial here. And let's see, is there anything else we want to do? Let's do some other abilities. These are fun.
Yeah.
Let's do one here for an aerial. She will, before the roll, a hero is shielded 3. So
Ah.
an aerial will take some less damage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, think we do. There isn't actually a token for it. It's just kind of one that you're gonna remember.
Right.
Um, so that's gonna be 3 less damage, whether hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
And is there another fun one we could do? Yeah, how about Lana here? We'll do this one. Heal 3 a hero.
Oh,
So how about Neri? You get some health back.
yes, please.
Heal up 3.
Because I'm all the way over there.
And
1, 2, 3.
we will
Thank you.
then reduce the mana shield here by
Right.
20 because 2 different skills were
Two
used.
skills were used. That's nice. Getting there.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, now we're ready to make this attack.
There goes
And
the
remember,
die.
an aerial is protected.
Ooh, 10.
Oh, just yeah, which is funny because her defense is 10.
Ah,
So
so she defends.
it's just so no, it's actually because it's equal to or
Ah,
higher.
you need to
So it's
match.
just just a little off.
Mm.
Just a little off. Ugh. Anyway, so that is gonna be a hit. So it will be 17 damage, and he has no passive. So
Minus
this
the 3. What from shielded?
correct. Yep. So it'll be
Yep.
only 14.
Yep.
So that's 10, and then 14 there, and that's it for red.
Yep.
And all of our heroes have already taken their turn. All of the villains have taken the turn. We go quickly look here at the quest book.
Yeah.
Any of the parts in the quest book that specifically have that big red R in there,
Yeah.
that means end of the round. So that way, it's a real quick, easy way to see, oh, hey, I need to check and look this. What happens at the end of the round? So in this case, it says if there are Kemet Lords on the grid, a hero takes 5 damage. Oof. So our buddy Rakaru here will take 5 damage for us.
Let take the ball there. Our
Yep,
companion.
yep. And that is it. Oh yeah, I probably should have mentioned about the commanders. They share the same HP
with their
as as their pet.
Okay.
So you don't have to have multiple tracking pieces. They share the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we may get into a case here of villain AI, but to quickly explain it, a villain will basically always ignore the pet of a commander unless they have to do something called the Dark Surge, which basically means they're too far away from the fight and they have to run a lot further to make an attack. And whenever they do that, they attack whoever the closest character is.
Okay.
So that's the only time they can attack a Pegasus. We designed it this way because the downside of having 2 miniatures is that open, right? This is a very tactical game.
Mm-hmm.
Having more miniatures that relate to your health means you're actually more vulnerable to attacks.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why it's designed that way.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
All right.
It feels balanced too, because having 2 miniatures that both can attack is pretty powerful. So both of them taking the same health damage, the same track, also makes sense. And then the AI preferring actual heroes over the pets seems to balance that out a bit. So yeah.
Yeah, because originally when we were doing some testing, it was like, villains just go ham, right, on those pets, and then your commander's just getting absolutely wiped out, or if you give them a ton of health, then it's just like it's very difficult for them to get killed, and it's not balanced with the other heroes, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, this is the best thing that we got with that. So that's the end of the round. There's also a note here. It says if all villains are dead and the Kemet Lords have been removed, then we would read, but we haven't gotten to that. So we're back to the next round. Any of the living villains will then become unfatigued. So that is Red, who is the only one who is back.
Yep.
And we're ready for another round.
Yes. All right. So quickly again about your line of sight vision. So Niari is within range of the Reaper, But since there's two heroes here, does that hinder my vision?
No. So yeah, allies and villains don't block your vision.
Hmm.
They can block movement. So for example, an Ariel can't walk through
True, yeah.
a villain character, but your vision wise, yeah, you can freely attack anyone. The only requirements is you take the corner, any corner,
Hmm.
and it has to not intersect with a barrier, which is
Right.
basically a wall.
Well, yeah.
So if there was, our villain here, let's just pretend so that way we can explain to our viewers.
Yeah.
Um, this goblin is behind this wall over here, right? Neri would not be able to attack because there's this wall essentially in the way,
Yeah.
but it just has to clip. So even if we're kind of like on the edge here and you take, your line and you're trying to and it's the same thing, right? You look at his corner. So if any intersection occurs right there,
Yeah.
or any point right there, then you would not be able to make that.
Hmm.
But because you can find a good side,
Yeah.
right? Like we take this corner and
Different
this
corner.
corner, it's not intersecting
Yeah. If that
that
door was
the
gone,
wall. We're
then I
good.
would be able
Well,
to.
yeah. Sorry,
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I
No
was
problem.
pretending
I
the
got
door
that.
wasn't there, but
If the door
yeah,
wasn't there, then you could see past that wall because you can take
yes,
any corner
yeah,
from
yeah,
your miniature to any corner of the enemy's miniature.
yep.
Yes, but
So
if
you're
indeed if it just
freely
clips
available
the
to attack
side
anything.
of an intersection of the wall and another square, then it's blocked. All right.
Yeah, so we'll probably get into it later, but
Yeah. Okay. So you want me to go first with
sure. Yeah.
the Ari? Let's see. So yeah, I'll take a shot at that Reaper. Let's see. I
So he's got 18 health left. And that's kind of the puzzle part, right? We
yeah.
look at what ways we can take him out
This
without being able to hurt
deals
us.
7 damage plus an effect, making it exposed. This one, well, the distracted is nice, right? Distracted 3 means
Yeah.
they have a -3 to their attack rolls. So
Yep.
let's try the distracting shot. So that deals 11 damage if I hit. Its defense is 5 as well. I mean, should be doable, right? You'd think.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take this die and I'll roll it. Boom. That's a
Oh,
10. So that's a
got it.
hit. That's
Yep.
11, actually. 11. That's a hit. So that deals 11 damage, plus it is distracted 3.
All right. So he's down to 7 health. So yeah, that's a good one here.
Mhm.
Also you have your passive.
All right. If indeed I did hit and target is 4 or more away from me, also the case, then I deal +6 damage. So I could, oh, +6 is just not enough.
Just not enough.
Or I could deal 3 damage to 2 enemies. So I'll deal 3 damage to the Reaper, bringing it to 4, and another
Okay.
3 damage to the shield.
All right.
Yeah,
25.
good.
Great. All right,
Okay.
so it is the villain's turn. He's gonna
Yes.
take his turn, but before
They
that,
retaliate, right?
um, yeah, he's gonna get to retaliate. But Anariel here is going, hey, you know what? I can get this. So she's gonna flip her token. She's
Yeah.
going to pay 4 HP,
Oh, 8.
and she's gonna make a ranged basic attack. But she doesn't really need the range. She can just
8 range, basic attack. And the
make
basic
it anywhere.
attack deals 8
Oh
damage. Oh,
no. Wait, what's his defense?
5.
Oh, defense 5. This is good. So I rolled a 4,
Oh, yeah.
but a basic attack, remember, has a
As a +1.
benefit. has a +1. So
Good.
that's a hit.
It's
So
just enough.
Anariel knocks out the Reaper,
Good. Well done.
and everyone gets cubes.
Yay. Plus, since you used an ability, the shield
Uh-huh.
goes down another 10
10 more.
points.
We're down to 15.
Sweet.
Well, all the normal villains are killed, so now we just need to wipe out this
Shield.
shield.
Yeah.
All right, so let's have Anariel go first. I guess I didn't talk about her passive, although she didn't really get to do it, unfortunately, which is at the start of your turn, there is at least one enemy in two of you. An enemy in two of you takes 5 damage. Well, nobody's technically there, so she doesn't get her passive. Like I said, each class has their own unique passives, and bruisers have theirs at the start of a turn, and they don't have to roll. It just happens.
Yeah.
Nario will go 1, 2, and these guys aren't actually taking turns, so they don't get to do reaction attacks or anything. So let's look at her ability. She's going to go, let's go here, and +2 damage per other combatant in one of you. Actually, wait, in one? Okay. All right. Let me do over.
Do over.
Do over.
I'm just
1,
gonna quickly
2.
refill my glass. I'll be right
Yeah,
back
go
in a
for
few
it.
seconds.
So I'll just keep going here. So dimensional strike, range 1, one enemy. I don't need the benefit move here, but I'm gonna roll to attack here. This archer there, and that's gonna be a hit. So Anaria will do 12 damage plus deal 2+ damage per other combatant in one of you. So she actually gets to do, and unfortunately it's a max 6, because otherwise I would have did 6 more, but we're going to do 4 more there. So that's 16 damage to the shields.
That's
Boom. Anariel just wiped it out.
Nice.
On her turn, and they are gone.
Yes. So what happens now? Let's see.
So technically, it says that we have to get to the end of the round before something else happens, I believe.
All right.
Let me double check. Nope, I'm wrong. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go read 2.2. So that section you wanted to read earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to quickly see where it says that after you.
Yeah, sure. So I read it up here in the initial setup.
Yeah. Oh, right there.
It says as soon as the mana shield.
As soon as the mana shield, right, red boss token drops to 0. Okay, that's right over there. All right, 2.2 then. Here we go, which is over here. And that's chapter 2, paragraph 2. Yeah, the Kemet are clearly more powerful than the rest, but the ritual has made them temporarily weak, as if they were about to faint. Solnertha, you promised that your minions would be enough to protect us. That's why I only trust in my aim. The one who is called Kildroli, or Sildroli, turns to you. Lucky for you, we will leave because I like to make my victims suffer until they beg for their own death. But I will not leave before I give you a gift from me. He grabs a large bow and shoots 2 arrows simultaneously at you. Sildroli deals 7 damage to its 2 closest heroes. My undead would have been sufficient if your archers provided cover. Instead of underestimating them, the one with the name Solnertha answers him. If there is another villain alive, which there isn't, Solnertha places a Reaper in one space of her closest hero. They had devised a way to escape in case their mana shield broke, and they managed to flee before you can do more. Remove Sildroli's and Solnertha's figures from the grid. With the removal of the first 2 Kemet lords, the first condition for beginning event 1 has been met. The second one being that all other villains are dead. Alright? So, They just go off the board. Oh, I need to.
Correct.
Is it locked?
They
Might
might be
might be
locked. Yeah.
locked. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see. Can I unlock it? No, I don't even. No, I
Should
don't
be
think
able
so.
to unlock. Here, I can get it for you.
Yeah.
So they are both removed. I had us take damage. So
Yes.
Anariel
All right.
and Rikaru take that 7 damage each.
'Cause they were the
The
closest.
Pegasus, even though it was closer, is technically not a hero.
Hmm.
So it's actually going to be that Rikaru who takes that.
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, we did that.
Yes.
We place this blue one within one of, I think it was where she was at. It was right there.
So what happens then?
No.
Let's see. You're placing an
So
enemy.
now, yep. So remember where it said if there's another villain alive. Oh, sorry. Whoops.
Yeah, there isn't.
I messed up. I
Unless
thought
at
it
least
said
not in
there is
our
not. So we're
square
good.
here.
Correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're actually good. We don't need to place this one.
Yeah. I mean, there's other miniatures on the other rooms, but I don't know if you place
Yes.
them after the door opens.
So yeah. So what's going to happen now
Hmm.
is so we've read that, right? Then we go back to our quest.
Yeah.
Because the round hasn't technically ended yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna still get to finish with the other characters who haven't gone. So
Okay.
Nario was the only person who went,
Yeah.
and since like the door hasn't officially opened yet, we're pretty much just gonna take our turn to move.
Yeah.
So Rikaru is gonna move down here. And like I said, you can use that prime action to make a second move. So really you can get mostly anywhere you want to. We're just gonna get kind of prepared here, right?
Yeah.
To
All
do
right.
some battling.
Yeah.
And then Neri, you can move.
I can move
wherever you'd
5
like.
for 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I could move again because I'm not attacking.
Yep.
2. I'll just stand behind the Pegasus then, I guess, to have a good view of
So
what's...
just so people know, like when we talked about like barriers earlier, right?
Yeah.
You can't cut the corner of a barrier, so like you wouldn't be able to move. You know, for people who are watching my stream,
Yeah.
you'll see this square here. I'm pointing to here to here. You couldn't make this move because that'd be cutting that corner
Right.
of that barrier. So you'd have to go
move around
if you wanted to do that.
Mhm.
It doesn't really matter. I thought I'd just clarify for people.
Yes. That's good.
playing
Good
the
to
game.
clarify that. Yeah. Easy to forget.
Okay. So at the end of the round, if all villains are dead and Kemet lords have been removed from the altar tiles, read 2.3.
3. All right. 2.3. That's on
We
the
gotta
next
change
page.
to the next page.
Yeah, you flip
There
over.
we go.
Yep, there we go. All right, let's put that on screen there. You see a faint portal-shaped glow at the top of a building, as if it were regaining its strength. It wasn't enough to interrupt Sildroli and Solnertha. There must be other Kemet lords performing the ritual. You hear noises coming from the other side of a gate. You break in and find 2 other lords. Then we remove the yellow big door, which is the door we're in front of. We place the barrels indicated on the map. We place Irizard, a spy figure, and Zinasu, a berserker figure. And their positions are also indicated on the quest map, so while you do that, we also put the red boss token on 70 hit points, and that's another mana shield. And let's see. Can I already read the rest? Yeah. Despite being from the same species, the lords couldn't be more different. One is a slim, dark female youngster, and the other is a muscled mass of an older man wearing a yellowed skull for a mask. The beautiful woman smiles as she sees you and tells her companion, "Look, Zisanu, just as our leader predicted, he is amazing." She looks at you from head to toe. My spies have told me stories about the great heroes of the arenas, able to defeat even the most powerful avatar dragons. Yet they don't seem like much, don't you think? It is a pity that these heroes will not have the honor of dying by my hands in combat before your presence, beautiful Irizard. So we must follow the prophecy, because the victory has been guaranteed. They put away their weapons and raise their arms high, performing a ritual. Knowing that these lords will be as weak as the first two you encountered, you know that you must deplete their shields as soon as possible and brace for what they may have prepared against you before they flee. And then we resume the quest with Event 1. And remember to place the villains, which are guards,
Yep.
listed under the Event 1's
Which
header.
is all listed in
Yep.
here.
So we just go back to that quest book here.
Yeah. So, a couple things I wanted to note here.
Yep.
One, as much as we love Raymond's voice abilities here, reading that journal, doing a great job there, by the way.
Thanks.
For people that are going to be joining in the Tanares Ultimate Edition Kickstarter, one of the add-ons that we have, and is going to be in the pledges, of course, is Foreteller.
Oh.
So if you don't want to be that person that's trying to pronounce Kildroy
Yeah.
and you're struggling with the names, let Foreteller do it for you. Um, so it's a great way to immerse yourself. And let me tell you, some of the music that they've come up with so far, because we've been working with them already for a while on this, is absolutely amazing. I think people are going to love this.
Cool.
And it's going to really take you to another level beyond where we're at right now. So,
That's really cool. That sounds amazing.
yeah, I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to personally get to play even though I've played through pretty much the entire game. I'm ready to do it again with Foreteller. So,
Wow.
um,
Nice.
okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is there was a question in the chat. Will the Ultimate Edition have an add-on for the line laser for ease of measuring line of sight with the physical board game? No, there won't. I mean, you could. I would say the times that I've had to like actually measure something in the game is very little amount.
Yeah.
And I think Raymond could probably attest to similar feeling on this because he's played Arena and it's the same rule.
Yeah.
This is the same rule as Arena, but you don't do it that often. And even if you do, I mean, you can take a regular, one of these books, right, and use a
Yeah.
piece
Piece of
of
paper.
paper to
Yeah.
essentially do
Exactly.
the same thing. So I would say it wouldn't really be needed that often. But if you really want one, of course you could, get one. Let me finish placing these bad guys here. Getting ready to start the next round. Also, I had a viewer correct us because this is why it's always great, right? When
When
you
you're streaming.
live stream,
Yeah.
because someone will always point out how you mess something up.
Okay.
Thank you. So technically, Neri did already take a turn the last round, is what we were corrected on.
True.
So she shouldn't have been able to
Oh.
move at
Oh,
the
yes.
end of the
I
last round.
did. Because I got two
But
cards flipped over, right? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
let's not worry about it super much. But I will say one other part that actually ties into this next part of the game. So if we go back to the quest book, you'll see that there's this thing that says Guard 3. And on the map, you even see like these little shield symbols over the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Guard is a new mechanic for Tanares Adventures. What it does is it's kind of a way to allow the players not to get just absolutely bum rushed by the bad guys.
Okay.
Because right, had we been like mostly like range type characters or something, we could all be standing back here
Mm-hmm.
and then end that event, and then these guys would spawn, right, and then
Yeah.
they'd have to run all the way over here, and it leads to very bad gameplay.
Yeah.
So what guard does is basically they won't even attack, they don't take a turn unless somebody moves within range 3, which is why it's called guard 3,
Oh, okay.
or somebody attacks them first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, like,
Understood.
if Neri did a ranged attack on one of these guys from more than range 3 away, they actually get a shielded value. So they get a reduction in damage. So that's kind of to prevent also at the same time that the same bum rush doesn't happen to the villains, right? So where they just take a ton of damage from the heroes without being, with being so far away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the idea behind guard, and it at the same time it keeps us moving on the map, and we're not just super far away from the fight.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Um, so you technically could have moved on your turn. I think you'd probably be from where you were before. I think you were like here or something, right?
Uh, I think one
I'm not
back.
sure. Were you
Yeah, that
here?
would be one,
Okay, so one,
two.
two, three,
I
four,
would be next to the.
5.
I'd be
So
there.
technically, yeah, you could be like standing
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So we could say it's your turn, and you'd still be able to have vision and I think line of sight here, or vision and range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so you could attack the green, but he will take.
Yeah.
Let me double check. I think it's like 6. Sure, Adria's probably listening for like little mistakes that I'm gonna make here, and like, nope, that's not right. Oops, didn't actually go to the page I wanted it to. All right, yes, I am correct on that. So, while they are guarded, villains are shielded 6.
Oh.
So, assuming that it is your turn, because we're trying to play as accurately as we can, we'll have Neri go and just say that she's done her move and now she's going to make an attack.
Mhm. All right. So they take 6 less damage. Is that one shielded? Let's see.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
There's a little
And
shield
and what's
token.
going to happen is once that this guard is essentially broken,
Mm-hmm.
they'll all act normal again. There won't be
Yeah, yeah.
like
Then
them
it's then
waiting
that's
around or
done.
anything.
And it has a normal defense of 5 yet again. All right. So, uh, well, the only skill that I have left, except for my ultimates, of course, is the twin shot. Can up to target up to 2 enemies. Does 7 damage per hit plus an effect. And you will strike 2 targets once or one target twice. Oh, so I can actually attack
Yeah,
the same
that's
target.
that's the nice thing about twin shot. You can choose to split it up, or you can choose just to go full on hit them twice. But
Mm.
that means you will have to roll twice.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. And how many hit points does he have? The green one has 40 hit
The
points. That
green
way
hun
over
has 40.
there.
Yeah, we're gonna be a little more trouble here. We got the zombie with 75 hit
Oh
points.
my god, that's a
So how to track that is you just flip the token over, and there's
yeah.
a plus
That's a
70.
plus 70 right
So it's
there,
just
yeah.
5 plus 70.
And then when you go here, you flip it back, yeah. All right, and the zombie is over here, which I cannot see, of course, because there's the wall in the way. Um,
Yep. So
so yeah,
the
I'm
only
gonna
one you'll be
attack.
able to get is this guy.
Yeah, the Reaper twice with the twin shot. So the first attack, where is the die? It's all the way back there.
Because,
All right.
like we had mentioned earlier, right, this is exactly that same situation of where he can't hit
Yeah,
that
yeah,
zombie
no,
and he can't hit the
definitely
Reaper.
not. No. Okay,
So,
let me just roll.
all right.
There we go. Boom. That's an 18, I believe. Yes.
All
That's
right.
nice.
Yep. That's a
That's
hit.
certainly a hit.
At your first or second roll? I wasn't paying attention.
That's the first roll. So it
Okay.
takes
So roll
7
again.
damage plus effect. So it's exposed and
Which
exposed.
means he'll have a reduction in his defense.
Yes.
Um, but that is the last target hit is exposed. So you technically
Oh,
have to roll both, and then you're going to apply the effect. So you don't get the exposed on
for the
on
second
this
attack.
one.
Now, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
It'll
Sounds
be for
fair.
other people can get this benefit. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Let's try that again for the second attack. Boom. That is an
And that is
8.
a hit.
That's also a
Yep.
hit. Takes another
So a
7
total of
damage. Now
14
it's
damage on
exposed.
hit.
Yep. All right.
And then I'm assuming you're just going to take that +6 from your passive on him.
Yeah, because it's 4 or more away. First hit deals +6 damage. Yeah, just do 6 damage to
But
it.
he'll take 6 less damage, unfortunately,
Oh,
because of the
the guard.
shielded.
Yeah, shielded guard. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep. And the
that's
guard.
gone now, right? After the attack.
It's gone. They won't get this anymore. Um, and right, and how we've always tracked
Oh,
effects
yes.
in the game before,
Yep,
which is
on the
still
Reaper.
the same, is you put it the card on that character, and that's how you track effects.
Yes.
Arena 1.5 did come out with a condition token sheet, so you can use tokens if you prefer tokens instead of using attack cards.
Yep. But this works because you
That's how it's
know
done.
who put the effect there and what effect it is. In this case, in the red letters says exposed, and then when this character's ends if used. So yeah, usually you take it back when it's that character's turn again. You just take back the card, and that's when the effect ends. But in this case, it probably ends earlier.
Yeah.
Ends if used, exposed.
Yeah, so that's what
Oh
that
yeah,
means is
when
when
it
another
takes.
character attack comes, that will consider that condition,
Yeah,
and then it will be used.
yeah. All right.
Okay. Let's see. Is there some other cool things we could do on the ally turn before moving on?
Yes. Let's see what I have.
Let's see. Yeah, let's do some healing. So Lana here will spend. She'll pay 6 HP to heal 2 allies 4 and move 2.
Oh, that's nice.
So Anariel will heal. Oh, I went the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Heal 4.
Up, please.
And how about you, Neri? You take 4 as
Perfect.
well, so you can move 2.
Yeah. We can all move to. Let's see. Oh, heal four
Just the
and
people
move
that
two.
got
Oh yeah,
healed.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I can't
just
cut the
those ones.
corner here, so I'm gonna have to go 1 and then diagonal, which is also fine.
Yep.
There we go.
And that will cause this to go down by 10.
Because you used an ability, exactly. Did you remove a cube?
I did. Yep.
Okay, good.
And we're about to get to a pretty cool situation here, real soon,
Oh.
of where we can overcharge our abilities. This is it's going to get more interesting here soon. Let's want to spend this one right now. I don't know. Maybe we'll hold on. Actually, let's do something even more interesting. So our comrade character, right? He doesn't have skill pad,
Okay.
right? But he still gains cubes just like everyone else. Well, they all have their own. So they have their own damage or healing depending on what type of character you're playing.
Yeah.
So Rakaru here is a tactician. So in this case, he can spend his cubes to do damage to
Right.
the enemy.
3 damage, and 2 cubes is 6, 3 is 10, etc. Yeah.
So he could spend some cubes to do some damage to them. Another actually cool thing is, let's say instead of Lana spending that her mana cube to power the ability,
Yeah.
we can actually steal from Rakaru
Really?
and use his mana cube to power Lana's abilities.
Ah.
So
Use a
this is why
companions.
this is fun when you're a solo player, right?
Yeah.
Is you can still have simplified characters and one full character and keep pulling from them to do your abilities.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
That is very
So
clever.
we're going to do that instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's and that doesn't cost Rakaru an action or anything. That's completely free. But let's say Rakaru does want to spend let's just do 1 and I'm doing one for actually a reason, but he'll spend 1 cube to do 3 damage to an enemy. So do 3 more to this green villain.
This
I
guy.
did that because technically the quest mechanic says every time you spend like a mana cube,
Yeah.
you use a skill. Whenever a hero uses a skill, the mana shield goes down by 10.
Yeah.
So with Rikaru, whether he spends,
Oh,
1
I see.
or
One or two
4
or three.
cubes, it's only 10.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to maximize the amount of
Yeah.
damage I can do their mana shield.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the end of your turn, I believe.
Yep. It is.
Green is going to make his turn.
Yep.
And he's actually
Do
going to
they
go.
get a retaliate? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, he does. So he's going actually after the person with the. Can you guess it? I bet you could guess it.
Wait.
What do you think he's going
Most
for?
cubes. That's
Boom. You got it.
yeah. Commander.
So, correct. So it's going after the
Wow.
commander. So let's look. So 1, 2, 3. So he actually is blocked. He can't even get to the commander in this case because the pet and Rikaru are blocking that path.
Yeah.
Um,
And he needs to
so
be in melee range.
so that means he has to go for whoever the next possible person is. And this is going to be true regardless of this situation, but like if the lowest possible hero is actually not within reach, he would then just pick whoever the next closest one is.
Okay.
So instead he'll go actually after Rikaru here. And he will attack him.
All right.
Roll the dice. Hopefully we get a bad roll, but
What you get?
Yeah, of course. I want to
12.
make sure that they do well, right?
Yeah.
They got to do well.
Just yeah.
So 13. So that will bring them down to.
Rikaru's defense was
it,
7, so yeah, it was easy hit.
32? No, sorry, 35.
Okay.
So that's definitely a hit for him because 12 is way over his defense of 7. So this green one doesn't have any passive, but he does actually get to the villain with the highest HP gains an empowered 3 token. So he gets to give out a condition to another villain, which will be the zombie.
All right.
So now that zombie is going to do some more damage.
Empowered.
And green has finished his turn.
Oh no.
Okay. All right. Let's see who we should go with next here. Let's actually do Rikaru, and we'll talk through a couple different things.
Okay.
That's going on specifically with him. One is he's gonna probably attack this Green Reaper here because it's already next to him.
Yeah.
And he's already fatigued. So even though he attacks this character, this one's not going to make another retaliation. They're already done for the round.
Yeah.
But Rikaru's going to do a sidestep.
Okay.
And remember how we talked about increasing the chances to hit? Well, this is called a mob right here.
Yeah.
So Rikaru and the
two.
Pegasus kind of surrounding the enemy. You have to have a square adjacent between allies.
Yeah.
And to do this kind of a configuration, or it can be completely on the opposite side.
Yeah, as long as there's one square space between, yeah, at least.
Exactly. But they are now exposed, which means his defense is brought down to a 2. So it's a -3 on his defense. So basically, as long as I don't roll a 1, I'm not going to miss. So we would normally look at there. He could move 2. He doesn't need it. Well, I guess he could have used the movement for that, but we're just going to go with this anyway.
He rolled 2
11.
1s, but that's good. That's an 11.
All right, so he will do 11 damage to that villain, which will put him down to 12. And then do I want to move him, or and do
Which
some more
skill did you
damage, or do
use
we
with
want to
the
gain a
Rikaru?
cube? So Rikaru, right? He's always going to use this unless I use one of his specials.
Yeah,
But right now he's just going to use
11 damage. Right. Yeah.
his yeah, this one.
Plus,
So
you can either deal 2 damage and move the target 2 spots, or gain a cube.
yep. So I think he is going to just go with a cube.
Hang on.
'Cause that
Oh
might
yes,
end up being a little
he's
more
now at
damage.
12. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the damage you already
The
did. Yeah, okay.
the other part, oh, actually, wait a second.
You can
1,
move him into the
2,
pit, I think.
3. Yeah, let's do that. So now we do also get his passive
Mm-hmm.
of move 3 the target, then blast 7.
Oh,
So
nice.
we will do that. 1, 2,
Oh, you're moving it towards the other
3.
enemies. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Actually, this is better. So he's here.
One,
1,
two,
2.
3.
Oh, he's too far. Okay. Oh well.
Yeah.
So we'll just put him there instead. And he will do 7 damage to that red.
With the blast effect.
The blast.
Nice.
Boom. All right. Good job, Rikaru.
Oh. And that means that the red, the big zombie, is no longer guarding.
So, they guard as a group. So the guard is
Oh.
already broken.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we're
that's the
already.
group thing.
Yep.
All right. Thought it
Yep.
was
Once
individual.
and you kind of know this a little bit because usually if we look at the map here, right, the outline of
Yeah.
the colors of the villains
Yeah.
match to the events that they're in, and specifically
Oh.
it will like tell you which characters are guarded together.
Oh, I see.
So that's why it says guard 3, Reaper,
Yeah,
zombie.
yeah. All right.
So that's why later on there's a different event where there will also be a guard as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool. The color coding. I didn't notice. Yeah, this is purple. This is brown. These are purple. These are brown. Oh,
Yep.
well
There's
done.
quite a bit of information in here.
They thought of everything.
All right. But since that guy was already fatigued, he actually won't get to take retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be it, and it's back to the hero's turn.
All right. So next that would be either an Ariel. You can still choose who goes next?
Correct. Yeah. Any order of heroes.
Yeah.
So Neri's technically already gone.
Yeah.
Rikaru's already gone.
Yeah.
So it's just between these two.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with the commander.
Okay.
Since she is ranged. Let's go with Holy Spear. This is the attack she's going to want to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And then we will check vision here. So we're on my screen. You can see the corner here. So we can hit red with Holy Spear. She gets a +1 to her roll. We're going to roll it. Guess we could have checked to see if anyone had another ability that they wanted to use, but so she rolled a 1, which unfortunately is always a miss.
Yeah.
Unless, there would have been a way for us to get a bless or something else. Actually, no, I think this one wouldn't have worked, but you could have done a bless. Actually, this is a good point. And I don't know. We'll decide if you want to do it or not, Raymond. But technically, you can use skills again. So see how it has like that plus cube symbol on the token?
Then it costs 2 cubes now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, just 1 additional. So
okay.
Right as you start getting skills like in level 2 and 3, it just means you have to spend 1 more if you want to do that one again.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll let you. Technically, we shouldn't do it because it's supposed to happen before the roll. Yeah. But we can just move on if you'd like. Let's.
Sure.
We'll go over residuals. So, Holy Spear. Look at the bottom of the card. Miss 5 residual damage. So because Lana misses, she actually gets a little bit of a consolation prize through a mana cube.
All right.
She gets a mana cube and she deals 5 damage to that villain, even though she missed the attack. It's
Yep.
kind of a way to keep progressing the game.
Yep.
Same thing from Arena. And now, even though it was a miss, red is still gone. He's out. He's out for vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is going to go for the highest HP,
Yep.
which is actually the commander.
Mm-hmm.
But 1, 2, 3, 4. And won't be able, unless he's a range 2, which he's not. So he won't be able to get to the commander, but he can get to Rikaru in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
He only needs to move 4. And so he will attack Rikaru instead. Is there any abilities here you want to use?
Let's see. So he's gonna attack Rikaru.
Yeah, effect. Let's see. I
All
don't.
I can
Actually, I don't
do.
think you would
Well,
be
I
able
can
to do
move the
anything.
villain and move it away
You
again.
could normally.
Yeah.
So a couple problems is one, he's got that start a turn requirement,
Yeah.
right? And this is where he started.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
'cause he
remember how
moved.
that we have to have range and vision? Well, unfortunately, he'd be this wall is
Yeah.
blocking that,
Okay.
so you
I
wouldn't be able to
do
use
that.
it on him.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Other people could, but it's not really going to change the situation.
No.
So we're just going to go forward anyway. Actually, you know what? I should spend some cubes. Let's spend a cube from the commander. She'll flip this, pay 3
3 hit
HP, and an
points.
ally
Yes.
charges a skill token and gains a cube.
Oh.
So we'll talk about what that means in a second here.
Mm-hmm.
She will pay 3 HP down to 51.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So charging a skill token is
Yeah.
essentially just flipping that token, but you
Ah.
don't get the actual effect. You just flip the token.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why would you want to do that? Well, let's kind of talk about it. So you have 2 more skills that haven't been flipped yet.
Yeah.
Once all 4 of these flip, you get to do your total charge ability.
Yeah.
Which is unique to each class.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, each kind of like role. So the shooter and brute technically have the same thing.
Okay.
And then bruiser tank have the same thing. Commander healer, yeah, you get it.
Yep.
So you would get to do 9 damage to
yeah.
an enemy once you total charge. So let's have you do it. So pick a skill you want to charge. Like I said, you just flip the token and that's it. You don't apply any effect, but you do get a cube.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Let's flip this one.
Oh, there you go. All right, so you are 1 away now.
Yep.
From doing it, and now this villain is gonna attack Karu.
Oh boy. Miss. Nope. It's
Nope,
10.
Got it. 10. All right, and this is actually gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt a lot.
Oh no.
Because not only did he hit, he also got his passive. And this is one of the things I haven't really been spending a lot of time thinking out, but you can plan for is no other hero is in one of the target, which is the case. So it'll be pull 6 and deal 6 damage to the farthest hero in range 8.
No other heroes close to Rikaru.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So this zombie, he also is empowered. So he gets 21 damage on hit. A massive hit there, and he's at 35. That'll be down to 18. Am I right on this? 14? Is that 21? I think so.
Farthest.
But then he pushes.
So sure. The effect is pull 6 and deal 6 damage to the farthest hero.
Yeah, so we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Okay,
we're going to do it.
So
I was just doing the hit damage.
The 18 damage.
So 18 plus the 3, because remember he was empowered.
Oh,
I already removed the token
from the
yep.
other. Yeah.
So that's why it's 21. So now he's
All
down to
right.
14.
Oof.
And then he gets to push for the target, which basically means he tries to move 4 away, like increasing distance as much as possible.
Yeah.
So you do kind of get a little bit of a choice in that, but we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
And because he cut the corner on the spikes, he takes 4 terrain damage.
Yeah.
Rikaru took quite a hit there, and this is what I'm talking about, man. These guys do a lot of
Yep.
damage.
Yep.
So he's gonna pull 6 and deal 6 to the farthest hero, which is an aerial. So pull is actually the opposite of push.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to increase, as much as possible, but they can't be can't through their own guys.
No.
So I think it would be 1, 2,
Oh
3,
no.
4.
I take 4 damage as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
Oh, that character takes 4 damage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, an Ariel is
Okay,
further.
somebody did. This is like I said, and these guys are watching. They're watching us, looking for our mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because someone was correct. The Pegasus was actually supposed to go before the zombie did,
Oh.
and this is actually one of the reasons why I do suggest not doing it, either as a new person or as the community manager who is trying to teach the game at the same time. Um, but yeah, technically he would have moved up probably at about here.
Yeah.
The Pegasus would have taken his turn, and he did get a hit, so that would have been 4 more damage on green.
Mm-hmm.
And would we have gotten? I don't think that's in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, no, it is 5.
Hmm. And hit
Pay
75 of you. Yeah.
for.
Pay 4
Do we
SP
want to do
to
that?
gain a cube and move 2.
Let's not, just because I forgot.
Yeah.
I don't want to try cheesing this too much more than I already have. Um, but okay, so that villain has hit. He's done his pull. Did I do the damage already?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. You
think
did.
so.
Yeah.
And then, boom, he's done.
Yeah. He's done. So that leaves an Ariel, I believe.
You couldn't have avoided the spikes here, but if that was an option, you'd have to push the hero through the spike. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so people are just correcting me on some of like the rule books of what should you have done. I think the amount of damage that you apply to characters is actually up to you. You just have to meet certain things. So you don't have to do the most damaging thing possible. I could be
Oh.
wrong. Maybe it is written that way. Um, so there's a little bit of a flexibility, I think, on how you apply things. Because right when you do get these options of like pushing people, right, you could theoretically put them in worse positions
Yeah.
if you wanted to. But we're just trying to show at least the basic gameplay. Okay, so that's the villain. Now we're back to the hero's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Rakaru has gone, Lana has gone,
Yeah.
and
It's
Nario's
just.
the only one who hasn't gone
Yeah.
yet.
Exactly.
So she will start her turn. An enemy is in 2 of her, so that villain will take 5 damage. Just right there off the top. And, we will go with Bone Destruction here. So she's going to attack red, and we're going to see what happens because I'm actually doing this. So Bone Destruction, that is a hit. So
But
that
you
will
roll
be
it down
11
all the way over there.
damage.
16.
Yeah, all the way up there. Yeah. And then the target is weakened 3, so he'll deal 3 less damage, which
Mm-hmm.
will be helpful eventually here.
Yep.
And an aerial doesn't need to move. She could. Let's just have her do a sidestep here. And I think that's all I want to go with for right now. So that'll be the end of her turn, and everyone's already gone
Yep.
except for Orange Villain.
Yep.
So this is a situation called unprovoked.
Okay.
So because he hasn't taken his turn, nobody caused him to attack because of our attacks, right?
Yeah.
He gets to do an unprovoked attack, which means basically if he hits, it's an automatic critical. So he
Wow.
gets 5 more
Plus five.
damage.
Oh boy.
Yes. So he
Okay.
is going to go for. He would normally try to go for Rikaru, but
And he's a
Rikaru is
movement
not
of
possible.
5.
So the next ones would probably be Anariel then. So up here,
Hmm.
attack Anariel. And, is there anything else we want to do? I don't think we have any other villain abilities we could do here. 14. That is a hit.
Plus 5.
So, yep, exactly.
And
So
he
that's going to be
deals
20 damage
15,
to
so that's 20
Anariel.
damage. Oh my gosh. And you lose a
Yep, and the
cube.
target and loses a cube. And that's it. But this is pretty rough, right?
It
I
is rough.
mean, they're doing a lot to us.
Yep.
We can mitigate this a little bit more. Maybe I will. I'll use that chain armor, reduce 5 of it,
Yeah, right.
flip that over, and that will be the end of the round.
Mm-hmm.
Next part is now we read the end of round effects. Since there is Kemet Lords on the grid here, somebody has to take 5. We'll just go with the commander since she is
Oh,
with
that's
the most
just
health.
special rules then, yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
special rule effect. And then we'll be starting over. So here, all these get moved back off.
Hmm.
Ready for the next round.
Yeah. Um, do I
So while
take...
you think about your turn,
Yeah,
I think I'm going to take a quick bio break.
sure. Do I
And
get back
you
my
can.
twin shot card after, because that
Oh
character
yeah.
has taken their
I guess
turn?
we should. So if you do start first,
Yeah.
then yes, it would come back and you'd cycle your cards, right? So you'd
Yes.
flip them all back and
Okay.
then get back this ability as well.
Yeah. All right.
Um, but if you don't go first, then we'd still be able to use that effect for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's up to you if you want to go first or have someone else. Because I think really the only one
Doesn't
who
really
could
matter. I'm
get
just
that
gonna
would
check.
probably be the commander.
Mm-hmm.
Only the commander would be able to potentially hit that guy. He only has 8 health left. I don't think we really need it. So you can go first.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll flip over all of my cards. There we
Right.
go.
And I
Should go.
will very briefly be
Yeah.
right back.
I'll see you soon. All right. So let's have a look at where she is. She's over here. And since it seems like I can only attack this one, because otherwise I'd have to, let's see, I don't have either of these within my vision because I'm from this square to this square would pass this wall, clip that side of the wall. So the only target, unless I move, of course, would be this one. Let's see what is their hit points. Currently, the red one is way over there. That's 47. That's a tough one. The others are over here. That's the orange one, and the green one is almost dead. So, well, I feel the Pegasus can probably deal with this one. Don't need to go out of my way to attack that green Reaper. So let's see. Yeah, I'll just try and do more damage to the zombie. And then I can always decide to move. And when I do attack the zombie, it will retaliate. the hero with the most hit points, which is currently, let's have a look, I think the commander. There's no other tokens here. No, so that would be the commander. And the commander is over here. So it would attack, but it's not. Let's see. It needs to be within range. It's a melee character. So would it move then? That's the question. On a retaliate attack, it doesn't get to move. So I probably will be attacking the an aerial character right there. And yellow is already all the way over there. So that's pretty dangerous. So maybe that's the risk. If you attack a character, there goes James. If you attack a character, then it will retaliate, which might be dangerous to other characters. Ooh, choices, choices. So maybe I should move, and I only need to move one square to the west to be able to hit either of these. So maybe I should try and kill this one that has 8 hit points. I have a skill that I think this is 11, this is 12, this is the 7, and this is 12 as well. The twin shot again. Oof. And do I? Well, I do have the short bow to make +5, but I kind of just want to buff it by a 1. And my basic attack, hang on, my basic attack is 8. Actually, that should be enough. That is enough. So I could actually do just a basic attack. Yeah. Does the basic attack have a residual? Let's see.
No, it actually
No.
doesn't.
No.
If you miss a basic attack, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, I was looking because this. I was wondering if I attacked the zombie, then it would
Uh-huh.
retaliate, right?
Yep.
And the zombie can only attack in melee range. So a retaliate attack would just target, because it does say the zombie retaliates to the hero with the most hit points, but it doesn't
Yep.
move on a retaliation, right?
No, it can move.
Oh, it can.
Yeah, it can
Oh,
move.
okay.
It
Oh, then
tries to go for whoever fits that target. So in
Oh,
this
okay.
case, if
That
you
would be
attack, it's going for
attack Lana.
Lana,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
isn't horrible too, right? Because Anaria will get a reaction
Oh,
against him, so
that's
that's 8
true because he
damage.
moves out of an Ariel's uh, direct vicinity. So, oh, that
Yeah.
might actually still be a good idea then. Hmm.
So while you're thinking about this,
Yeah.
and this is the simultaneous turn here, Raymond's thinking like a mad genius over there. I'm going to spend a cube, and I'm going to use my ability here on the hero turn. Roll a die. If even, heal 7
Even.
an ally. So
Even,
hopefully
even,
we
even,
get an
even, even,
even,
even, even, even.
please.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
All
50,
right.
50.
So Ricaro, you are looking a little bad. So you're going to get 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now look. This is exactly what I talked about here earlier.
Yep.
Lana
Yeah.
has now
All
total
4.
charged. She flips these back, and now she gets to do uncharge, which is
Yep.
unflipping tokens back over,
Go
and
ahead.
then heal 9 an ally. So now Rikaru is going to get 9 more.
26.
Now it's not
Nice.
looking quite as grim as it was before.
That's indeed a lot better. Well then, we do want an attack of opportunity from an Ariel here, and Lana's pretty well with the hit points still. So yeah, I'm gonna choose to attack the zombie then. Let's see.
Okay.
I well, if I push it away. If I hit on this arcane shot,
And
and
remember, you do still have your special attacks too, there,
I
Raymond.
do, and it is a very strong monster, so I might just want to do that. Let's just have a look. So they're both. It's certainly within range. This just deals 13 damage.
But it
And
hits up to 3 enemies.
oh,
And
it
the other
does.
one is designed to, work within a straight line. So it's
Oh,
you're either kind of quickly shooting at 3 different guys across the battlefield, or you have them already lined up and
lined
then you're
up.
doing a
Yeah.
bunch of damage.
Hmm.
In this case, you would probably, if you were going to do it, you'd probably want to do rapid fire.
Yeah, yeah. And I need to move first because I want to
But you'd
see
need to move. Yeah.
those other ones.
Yeah.
So rapid fire just does 13 damage per hit, which would kill one of them. And the
Mhm.
last missed target takes 15 residual damage. That's pretty good. Oh, if you miss
Yeah.
all of them. Okay. All right. If you miss all of them, well, if I did miss all of them, I could still kill the green guy potentially,
Yeah.
or leave it. And yeah, you want me to attack the zombie last, in case that happens?
Well, the zombie has probably the most HP, so you might want to go for him first. So if you do that, right? So that way we can maximize your passive here, Raymond,
Yeah.
is maybe go back a step here.
Mm-hmm.
You're still going to be able to
Rapid
hit
fire.
everyone else.
Yes.
Um, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you can hit them all
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and you can go after the red one first, so you can apply the more damage to him if you like.
Why would that apply more damage for the first target?
So because
Oh, the passive.
remember your passive, so target is 4 or more away, the first hit
Fist.
of your target,
Exactly.
right?
First hit.
So if you're
Gotcha.
attacking multiple, it will only apply
Yeah.
to whoever the first
All right.
one you hit. That's why I moved you back. Because
All
if
right.
you
Gonna
move
see if I
forward,
can
you'd be too close.
roll it as well using physics.
Yeah. All
There we
right,
go.
going for red. Oh
That's a
no.
two. Oh my gosh, I missed the zombie.
Oh no.
Big sigh. There's nothing I can do about that.
Nothing.
No.
Nope, not this one.
Let's see. What's empowered six again? That is plus deal plus three
That's
damage when it
just
hits.
more
Okay.
damage.
Mm.
But even still, this is only on an ally's
Oh,
turn, so you
right.
wouldn't be able to use your skill pad.
All
Yeah.
right. That's on an Alistair.
So,
Right. Ally of one.
yep.
All right. Well,
So
second
now
one is
I'd
then
probably suggest orange
the orange
because
one.
you don't. Yeah.
Keep the other one for last. So I kill
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Oh,
Come on, get some
oh yeah, it
hits. There
rolled
you go.
19. Nice. So that
19.
one takes
Awesome.
13 damage.
Yep. Plus your passive. So you
Oh,
could
because
do
that was the
6 more
first
to
hit
him.
plus 6. Yes.
Yep.
All right. Yeah,
So
just do
that'll
it.
be 19.
Yep. And then the last one is green one.
Oh no.
That's
Wait.
4.
Oh, yep, that's a miss.
That
Dang.
the only if I miss
Happens,
all.
man.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna use the R
Yeah,
button next time
only
I
if you
roll.
miss all of them, you get the miss.
Oh yeah. Well, that was a bit of a waste of that ultimate attack.
That's okay. So one this is actually a great opportunity to talk about
Oh,
something else.
oh yeah, this is just
So
damage. Yeah,
you see these cards here, right? We're just gonna flip them over real quick. See how
yeah.
they say like 0 to the roll and 0 HP. As you level up in the game, you're actually gonna get better cards. So the weapons, they increase your chance to roll, and it applies on every attack roll.
Ooh, I like
And
that.
your HP, of course, right, will go up too. So I'll say, like, later on in the game, you're going to be getting at least a +3 very often. So it really decreases that chance that you're going to miss much more as you get later on in the game.
Cool.
In fact, there's even a special NPC card that allows the heroes to be able to equip 2 weapons, so then you could have like +6 to your attack roll.
Oh,
So you pretty much could almost never miss then,
yeah, yeah. Because you get so
unless you
experienced.
get a 1.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Of course, one is always a miss. All right. Well, that was Niari's turn.
not as exciting as we thought it was going to be.
No,
So you hit the orange one, so he'll actually be the villain to take
to
the turn then.
retaliate. Yeah.
Um, in
Does
fact,
they retaliate? Right.
let me double check that. I might be wrong on that. Uh,
Hit points.
it might actually be that first target. I'm sure. Adria right now is probably rapidly pressing her keyboard as comes to correct me here. Let's see. So retaliation, when you make an attack on your prime action, the first non-fatigued villain you target
Ah,
must take the next turn. So I'm sorry, it actually is the zombie that
yeah.
will take the turn.
All right.
So
What?
he is going to continue to go after. I think it's the commander, right?
Lana, yeah, because she's got the most
Yep.
hit
So
points over there.
she's
But that does mean that Anariel gets to take an attack of opportunity there.
correct. Yep. And there's no rolling on this either. It's just applies the damage. So
That
he will take
is
8 here. So he's down to 39.
that.
So yeah, during
Oh,
the
8.
testing part of the game, they did have, people make attacks for a while, but it was determined it's just like it's another thing to remember. It kind of slows down the game, and this is just easier. Just
True.
yes, people take damage and we move on because there's already a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's see. Do we want to use some more abilities? Uh, Yeah, she corrected me now, but she was like, "Sorry, I was playing another game at the time." um. Okay, so we're not actually gonna be a. Oh, he's so far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait, no, he is in range. Um. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to actually like prevent this or anything, but I do want to do something else instead.
hmm
So I'm actually going to spend, since it's the villain's turn, and it can be allies or villain's turn,
Yeah.
Rikaru's going to spend all 3 of his cubes here to do 10 damage.
Oh,
And he's actually going to do it to green.
okay. Just kill it.
So green gets killed,
Yeah.
and we all get a mana cube because of that.
Ah, nice.
Even him.
Oop. Mm.
Okay. And now the villain is going to, that zombie's coming for the commander. Oh my goodness. A 9. I'm not having the luck today. But he is weakened, so he will take he'll do a little bit less damage. So that's 15. And at least we did one thing good here, Raymond.
Yeah.
See how Neri is kind of back here
hmm
next to the commander. He won't be able to get his isolation bonus, so that's
Ah,
gonna be huge.
yeah, yeah. Because
So
he had
instead,
that with
that's
the pulling.
just 15 damage.
hmm
12, 13, 14, 15. And so that's counting that weekend there, but he still does get the push 4. 3, 4. And that'll be it for red.
Okay.
All right, back to us, man.
Yeah. Who do we want
Let's
to
see what
have
we
go
can do
next?
here. Can we do?
How is Ricaro doing over there? Right. Yeah.
And by the way, I think we keep forgetting to do the mana cube. I think we've missed a few. I know I just missed that last
Oh,
one.
yeah, because you use an ability. Yeah.
So there. Oops, that's the wrong token.
It's a dragon one. Yeah.
That's the right token. I don't know if there was a second one or not. We'll just go with that one. And who do we want to go now?
Let's see.
Well, orange is getting low. Maybe we can kill orange. So
Yeah.
we'll have
So
an Ariel
16.
go. So she gets her passive and does 5 damage to him, to orange. Start of her turn. And then she will now unflip her one of her armor and get her items back. Or, I'm sorry, she'll get one of her items back and all of her skills. Yep, thank you. And now she only has to do 11 damage, which actually is not that hard for her.
Yeah, because
She has 2 different abilities that do that.
Any of these.
So let's go with Sword of Sigils.
Sword of Sigils. 11
She
damage.
will
Effects.
go for that. Do you want to use Overcharge?
That
This would be
is.
good time. So you can use your last ability.
That's I have
So
guidance.
guidance.
Guidance. Yeah, let's do that. You are empowered 6. I lose 2 hit points. My
So I guess technically I probably should attack red with this instead. If I'm getting that empower, that would make much more sense.
yeah, you deal.
So I'm gonna do attack red instead, which I can still do. This is a range 2 attack. So
there it goes.
empowered. Let's get that hit. 16. That is
Nice.
a hit.
Plus
So
3.
empowered 6 plus 11 damage
Yep.
is 17.
Mm-hmm.
So 10, 15, 16, 17.
Wait, you were at 39. It was at 39.
Yeah.
So 17 would be 29. Wait.
Should be
39.
22, right?
29. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, you're right. 22. Yeah, I'm off. I'm off.
Good old math.
Jeez, it's
Okay, so
late.
now you actually get the overcharge. This immediately happens.
Oh, okay. So I immediately
So,
get this
yep,
total
correct.
charge.
Yeah. So you flip back your tokens and deal 9 damage
9
to
damage.
somebody.
Oh, and didn't this guy? Oh no, that was at 11. Ah, jeez. uh, the
Yeah.
probably the zombie then,
I mean,
right?
you could still, I mean, you could do it to the zombie. You could do it to orange too. Maybe there's a way for us to do a little
2
bit of
extra
Actually, there
damage.
is. There will be a way for you to do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Damage the orange guy.
So I flip all of these over.
Yep, and you deal 9. So now he's down to 2.
Yeah,
All
deal
right,
9 damage.
and so I've taken my turn. I have moved. I've done my attack. Actually, I didn't move, but I attacked. And do I want to move? I guess I can just sidestep 1 over here, and then that'll be the end of Anariel's turn.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, we attacked red, so it wouldn't be a villain turn, but that's okay. We'll figure out another way to handle this here.
If you hadn't moved there, wouldn't you be mobbing the Reaper? Or doesn't it matter? Yeah, we're gonna kill
Um,
the Reaper anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
it was, but yeah, I was attacking the zombie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but for later. But we're gonna
So
do the 2 damage with a skill
yeah,
anyway,
he exactly.
so it
It
doesn't
won't
matter.
really matter here. Um, dang. So sometimes it's just like a little bit off, right? Because we won't get a villain turn because red has actually already gone.
Okay.
So unfortunately, we're not gonna get that, but that's okay. Oh, healing command. Maybe we can do that. So, our pet here will. Are we? I think we're too far away. 2, 4, 5. Trying to just count out some squares here. It's not really a good spot. All right, let's go for hacking this orange guy, I guess, with healing command. Oh,
Oh, you rolled a
you
1.
gotta be kidding me.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, every time it's another learning opportunity here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for helping there, Adria. So even though she missed, so
Right.
we'll talk about misses.
Yeah.
She would do 5 residual damage, but residual damage is non-lethal. So
Oh.
the health would go down to 1,
Oh no.
unfortunately. Yep. And we don't get this part. But what Adria pointed out to me is Rakaru can spend his cube to do 3
Three
damage
damage.
to
Yeah.
Orange and kill him.
All right. There goes orange.
And so then we all get cubes.
Oh, brilliant. Yes.
Okay. And then the Pegasus still needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
So she will fly
Right
back.
after.
One,
Yeah.
2, 3. She's going after this zombie here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is going to be a miss.
Yeah.
So no damage.
Sheesh.
A double miss. Actually, that's a good point. I do get a mana cube because I did miss the attack.
Okay.
So now the commander has quite a few mana cubes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep. And we forgot to do the
That's an event. Yeah.
mana shield.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, since it was supposed, well, I guess he's dead, so we don't get a villain turn because he didn't get to take a turn.
Yeah.
Where's the green one? Oh, he's already dead. Duh.
Green one was already dead. Yes.
Oh. We got to get their mana shield down now, basically. So Rakaru is the only person who hasn't gone yet. And there is still one villain on the board.
There's still a zombie.
Yep. So Rakaru is gonna. Where is he gonna go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Rakaru is gonna take that 1 to his attack roll. Got it.
17.
So that will be 11 damage. And then we're going to take the +2 and a move 2. So that's 13.
Yep.
It's down to 9.
Okay.
And then that move, he'll get tossed into the spikes.
Aha. More damage.
Take 4 more.
See, can I?
Down to 5. And
I could do
I
shock.
think that's all.
But
You got enough to kill? Oh, yeah, during a villain turn, though.
Oh, yeah. It's Brukaru's turn. Yep. But I can do that later.
But we'll have
else?
Lana spend a cube here since it is Rikaru's turn and roll a die. And while I'm doing this, you want to move the boss token down 10
Yes.
for the mana shield. Thank you.
All
right, so that is even. So she will heal someone for 7, which will be an Ariel.
Ah, good. More healing.
We need that healing.
Yep, we do. You can pull an enemy and
that's hasten, which isn't going to help us, unfortunately, on this one.
No.
Okay, I think that's it, unless I'm missing something else.
Might, but yeah. Let's just move on.
So yeah, you're right. So she did use Swords of Sigils, but I believe she did actually hit with this one, so she is protected. And she could have swapped with an ally, but we're just gonna go with that. So whenever you have a card that has this is a question, by the way, from the chat. Whenever you have like a skill that applies like an effect like this, you just place it on here until it gets to the next round.
Yeah.
Which is where it says specifically on the card ends at the start of an Ariel's next turn. Then it'll go back flipped.
Then you take the card back. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's the end of the round because we've all gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that means there are still Kemet Lords, so somebody's got to take 5. I think that's going to be you, Neri.
Yeah.
Highest HP.
As well.
I brought you down 5. And we are now on to the next round.
Mm-hmm.
The zombie is alive. Oh, but he needs like a love tap.
He's at 5, yeah.
Yeah, I think actually our commander might be the best for doing that love tap. So she'll start. She
Yep.
will unflip. She'll get back her bow.
And commander
And
is
she has
down.
her healing command, which we will try again here. Let's actually oh wait, 1, 2. Oh dang it. She's too close. I was thinking about trying to show off focused,
Mm-hmm.
which is you are at range that there's no enemy within range 3 of you. You can be focused, which makes them exposed. It's a good way to increase your chance to hit, but you can't move if you do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he is at range 3,
Yeah.
so we don't get to do that.
Right.
So she'll just do healing command normally
Okay.
anyway. 18.
Damage.
Woo, that was really close.
Oh.
And she does get it. So that's going to be 5 damage. And then it says move for your companion, then heal 6, the hero closest to it.
Mm-hmm. So you can move it to someone you need to heal.
Move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
An aerial will heal. What was it? 6?
I already forgot. Yes, 6.
Awesome. And then now that
Flipped.
Pegasus does get to take its turn,
Yep.
which it'll just move 1 more. And we did kill red, so we all get a mana cube.
Oh, I
not to
already
forget
have my
things.
maximum. And he gets 1 too.
And yeah, he needs to get 1. So you can actually do one of your abilities here for the Pegasus, maybe.
Sure.
Make him empowered.
Works
just as well as on the
yeah,
pets.
let's do empowered. Why not?
All right, so that is a hit.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be 6 plus 4, which is 10. And didn't we had somebody did one more skill? Oh, you just did a skill.
I did. So yeah.
Okay, so that's
down to 0.
Break that shield. And so that is actually we did it all here in 1 turn with Lana.
Nice.
Great. So if all bones are dead, oh no, I'm sorry. We need to read the next part, which says as soon as mana shield drops to 0, Yazard deals 8 damage and removes 1 mana cube from the closest hero. That would be an aerial. The closest hero. And then removes its figure, which I think is the spy. And then Zahenna deals 12 damage to the closest hero, then removes its figure. Ow. Ariel taking 2 separate hits there.
12 damage, yeah.
Okay, so everyone else can move up, I believe.
Okay.
So, because only the commander has gone.
All right. Still
could get a cube. We're not going to do that. So she'll go over here.
Interact with the barrel.
Yeah, she's going to interact. So everyone gains another cube.
Yep, get my cube back.
And then, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, wait, no, I think she can only get 10 with a double. Yep, that's right.
I just have basic 5.
3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Awesome. All right, now we got to read 2.4 now that the round is over.
2.4.
I'll let you do that.
All right. There it is. Can you move your cursor? Right.
Sorry.
The portal is even stronger now. The ritual must be almost complete. Remove the big red door from the grid and place barrels as on the map. The last hall is at least twice the size of the others, with two more Kemet lords in it. One of them wields his great sword, positioning himself quickly in front of the other, who is levitating with his eyes closed, holding the pendant of his necklace with one hand. They're here, Gulag, my captain. He glances back at you. I acknowledge your courage, but our victory has already been predicted, as well as the death of you. Barailmer orders you to awake. He thrusts his sword into the ground, emitting a magical glow, causing a spirit and two skeletons to rise from the ground toward you. Oh boy.
Oh no.
So you get a Reaper, and a Spectre.
Yep.
Gulag is unfazed. His eyes remain closed. Either he ignores your presence or he doesn't deem it important. So now we have a Gulag figure and a Barailmer, which is a warrior on the quest map. And the red boss token is at 70, which is again the mana shield. You hear the sounds of a fight nearby, followed by a scream that is unmistakably Sidura's, and the noise of thunder. Either the Iron Hand is making a final push to prevent overwhelming reinforcements from coming to protect their generals, or they're being forced to retreat. The circumstances of a quest may change after it begins too. We have some information here. We did have the Warfers saved, so we apply the following. The members of that family had learned a few things about the positioning of Kemet troops near the walls while they were trying to escape. They met Iron Hand officers farther down the road and made them better informed when they launched their assault. Consequently, Kemet necromancers in the perimeter were more harmed than expected. So the Reaper, the other Reaper, and the Spectre each take 5 damage. Huzzah! Because we saved those villagers.
Yep. So there's yep, there you go. Some good things here because we did actually help them out.
Awesome.
All right, where did that blue token go? Not sure, so I'll just grab this one. So what? See, 70,
Yep.
80, 95. The Spectre has 95
That
health.
is incredible. Oof.
Resume to event 2. So
And
event
the Reapers
2
have
is
40, but they do take damage.
yep. So yeah, so let's move the how much health do they take?
5. So this one goes down 5. Where's the other one? We have one at 35.
I might have forgot to do the orange one here.
Yeah, the orange one is then at 30. Oh, yeah, that one's over here. I'll take it.
Oh, okay. There it is.
There
Thank
it is.
you.
That's 30. And the Reaper also took, oh, not the Reaper, the Spectre, I believe also took, yes, also 5 damage.
Okay.
So that's,
I moved her down.
yeah, 90. Okay.
Okay. So now I'd like to put a point out what the next event says.
Mm-hmm.
It says as soon as this last mana shield drops to 0, you win the quest. Then read 2.5. So we don't necessarily need to kill all these guys. We just need
to use
to
a
get
lot of
that
skills.
mana shield down.
Yeah.
Yeah, use skills and try to damage specifically that shield.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, this is a good opportunity here to try to go crazy as much as we can.
Use all the specials. Go wild.
Yep.
At the end. All right, that's cool.
They are on guard. So I suggest that we do just take 5 damage so we can get closer. Because like Lana, for example, right, is all the way back here, so she's not going to be able to help at all.
Mm-hmm.
So we can move right within range 3. So Rikaru 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is a safe spot.
Mm-hmm.
An aerial 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yep, still safe spot. You can move up 2 to get closer.
Yeah. 2, 3.
2, 3,
I'll probably
4,
just stand
5,
behind
6,
you there, I
7,
guess.
8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2.
And then Pegasus also gets a double move as well.
Yes.
Lana will still be a little further behind, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So we got to take 5 damage because we didn't. We did a
round.
whole round, right?
Yep,
But we didn't actually do anything.
No. Let's see.
So all right, but we're in a much better spot now, right? Because otherwise we would have started this last fight with everyone pretty much being out of range except for maybe one person.
Yeah. All right. So.
All right, so we got to go hard, man. We got to go hard.
I could bless an Ariel, and then an Ariel could do one of the ultimates.
Yeah. How about Black Hole?
Black Hole. Move for 20 damage plus an effect, which is deal 8 damage to all other enemies in 3 of the target. So yeah, okay, I'll bless you. That's a cube.
Right, so
flip this over, which also means
actually, I guess one thing to note is special. So, and this is something you'd probably only remember if you really read these condition things here, but
yeah,
it's roll twice, use the best result. Apply only on primary attacks, unfortunately.
Okay. True.
Just because specials are so strong
powerful, yeah.
that right that the effect of a bless is exponentially better.
Yes, of course.
So
you want me to wait with that, or you want to do a regular attack?
Yeah, you just wait for that. Actually, do you have this one?
I'd have to spend 2 cubes, but I can.
Yeah, you could do that again.
Sure, you're empowered.
All right.
And 6, the shield loses 10 hit points, or have you already done that? No, you haven't.
I haven't done it yet.
So I'll move that to 60.
And so I'm actually going to directly attack the shield with Black Hole.
Yep.
So if I get that, that'll be 26 damage.
14.
I do.
Yeah.
26 damage.
And
then it says deal 8 damage to all other enemies in 3. And the target I was going for, by the way, is Golug here.
Yeah, this one.
So deal 8 damage to all other enemies in 3 of the target, and then place them in a free square in one of you. I can't move these guys.
Yeah.
But I can do 8 to the Spectre, 8 to the Reaper. And I can't move him, but I could still do that 8 damage technically.
Yeah, sure.
So that will be 26.
That was
so
fast.
That's a massive amount of damage there. And you know what? Let's do 5. Let's do 5 more. Let's do 5 more with the longsword.
Oh yeah, right, with the the weapon that you flip over.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
That was some Kamehameha attack you did there.
Oh yeah, going crazy hard. And the best part about this is we actually aren't causing. I was reading a comment.
Okay.
We didn't actually attack any of the other villains, right? We just attacked the shield. Okay. So we don't cause a retaliation.
There you go.
But we can actually end this on this turn.
We need to deal 21 damage. Do we have any ultimates?
Oh, you can do it. Let's let you do it. Perfect Hunt.
Perfect Hunt deals 17 damage per hit.
See, can you move far enough? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you'd have to be in a line like over here if you wanted to hit both of them. Actually, you don't need to, because I'll just spend a cube.
Yeah.
And move 2 for you.
Move 2. And it's hastened.
1, 2, and you're hastened. 6. Yeah. And so because I used the skill down to there. So you just got to make just that one hit.
11.
That's it.
Let's get someone. Let's see. It's 12 plus effect.
I was gonna say just do Perfect Hunt. Just
Yeah,
you're against either this warrior Browmere or the Deathbringer.
I could do any attack, but since it's the end of this the quest, you get them all back
Yeah,
anyway.
correct. Yep.
And in a straight line, but yeah, I'd attack multiple things, but I just need to hit it. So okay, all I
Yeah.
need to do is just hit. And
Yeah, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna
hang
spend.
on.
Oh, I guess it wouldn't matter.
So how many? What's the defense of if I'm attacking Gulag?
They have a defense of 2.
Oh,
It's ridiculously low.
okay. Does it say that? That's what it says
It's
here.
written. Yeah, it's specifically written in here. So
Oh, Mana
basically,
Shield's
it's just as
defense
long
stat,
as you
which
don't.
is 2. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't hit a 1, you got it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go then.
Yeah. So someone asked about Sword of Sigils. Yeah,
It's a
it would
10.
get flipped because an aerial was supposed to do it.
It's a 10.
Boom.
So
All
we hit
right.
it, and
So
that's
that
17
is gonna
damage.
be enough damage there. Perfect. All right. So
That's that.
that's it.
Yeah.
We accomplished the primary objective.
Yeah.
That's the end of the quest. So let's read 2.5. Let you read 2.5.
Drops to 0. Yeah. 2.5. All right. Let's see. Here it is. Whoop. Read this only if you have won this quest. Golok doesn't seem as weakened by the interrupted ritual as the other generals. He was carrying a skull, which he now puts on his open palm as he finally glances at you with a faint smile. You immediately feel paralyzed as a powerful wave of necromantic energy spreads throughout the scene. Then you're knocked off your feet. Each hero takes 25 damage. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
If at
so
least
that
one
would
hero,
knock out.
yeah,
Yeah,
if at least
knocking
one
an
hero has
aerial.
more than one hit point, go to 6. Otherwise, go to 7. So how
Yeah,
are we?
so we do.
Yeah,
Everyone survived except the Nariel.
Nariel gets knocked out. Oh no! And
Yeah.
then and what's his name? Rukaru is at 1. All
Yeah.
right. So, and then we read 6. Barelmer is impressed to see that you are still standing and prepares to attack you when Gulag breaks his silence for the first time. Put down your sword, Barelmer, for I did not give you that permission. Indignant, Barelmer glares back at his captain. Does it continue?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Flip over the page. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. But why humiliate them like this? I was only going to give them a dignified end. Gulag walks towards a portal, already preparing to leave. I don't remember asking your opinion, Barilmer. Now come, for we have much to do. Barilmer frowns, and before he leaves, he looks deep into your eyes as he puts away his sword. Give this skull to Solnertha. It must be taken to the lab. Mark Barilmer's mission fact. They teleport away. You survive the powerful magic, but it begins reanimating the dead bodies in the whole place. You escape to find the Iron Hand troops and return to Warfugi, which is 8. And then 8 is the conclusion victory. Mark this quest's star. We check it. Slot in the log. And after being properly healed, you meet with Sedura for a debrief and share what you've learned about your enemy. Awesome. So we check off Fisherman's Wharf, I guess.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
Yeah. So mark this quest. So they actually show you the picture of the last quest. I think they're just trying to indicate this is where you go
All right.
because this quest was know your enemy,
Yeah.
right? Number 2.
All right. That's
So they're
right
just
here.
telling you go there and then check it off, which I've done here
Yeah.
in our campaign.
Yes. And Barelmer's mission is also checked off.
Correct. Yep. And I checked that off as well.
Yes. Wow. That was some a mission.
Yeah. So then there's a few other things here. There's some more, kind of story stuff about each of these villain characters
Right.
specifically.
Yes, that's
And
what it
there's
said.
stuff about getting a quest card and removing an adventure card, and then you'd mark some war points and stuff. And that's kind of, it's still sort of tied into this tutorial, but I mean, you would still do something similar to that, even if you're playing like a regular quest where you're going to end up marking masteries in the campaign book. So in this case, it says, mastery secrets of the empire. So then you go down to the campaign book or campaign log and you click that, and then you also add a war point right there whenever you do a mastery. So, and then after that, you would then head to the city book and read some more about
Yeah.
some of the characters and things that are going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, the ultimate Tanaris stuff is going to have a lot of this stuff more combined, or we're going to change some of it in a little bit ways to make it a little easier, so you're not, flipping as much through the book. The problem was this was intended to kind of, get everyone prepared to how to use the different books. But unfortunately, some people, I think may have thought that that's maybe how most of the game is. But
Oh,
that's not actually the case. It's
okay.
just teaching you how to use it. So when it comes up later, you know how, not necessarily that you're constantly flipping through the books.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So that's a criticism that we've had since the game came out, specifically with the tutorial. So the tutorial is actually being reworked to be easier to understand, less book flipping, more of just the information being directly written as to what you're supposed to do, and not having to look around for things.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, that's pretty much it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, it is a lot to take in. There are plenty of
Oh
rules
yeah,
that you need to remember. It's not that they're difficult. The rules are pretty simple and straightforward, but there's a lot that you need to remember. You easily can
correct.
forget stuff because, there was this rule or this thing for this mission. So you need
Yeah,
to, yeah, you need to pay attention is basically what I'm trying to say here.
exactly.
But of course, if you're playing this with a group of people, then you have a couple of eyes on, so you don't have to remember. It's just when you're playing solo that you really have to concentrate on remembering everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like you said, if you play this for the first time, you might have some difficulty. You might forget some things, but if I feel if you persist, if you just power through the difficult parts for a bit, then you will of course get better at it because you start remembering things, and
Yeah.
I feel you will be quite rewarded with what this game has to offer from what I hear, and after this first experience, I thought this was a lot of fun. It is indeed very
Good.
strategic, just like Arena the Contest. You're dealing with positioning, line of sight, empowering other characters, buffing each other or dealing damage on the enemy's turn with the sheets, with those skills that you have with the
Hmm.
cubes. I think that's a lot of fun, and yeah, yeah, it's a fun experience so far, and I do love the storytelling bit. That's just something I really like. But it's good that there's an option to skip some of those if you're not into that. So yeah,
Yeah.
it certainly is a game that you right away from the start you feel that the designers put a lot of thought into.
Oh yes. Yes. There's been a lot of gameplay. I mean, the quests have. Um, I don't know the exact number, but I'd expect most quests have probably, like maybe like 30 some more plays or 50 some plays per quest at least or something. I mean, I could be a little bit off on that, but
Wow.
yeah, they've spent a lot of time testing out the quests. And another important thing too is, like, in the special rules, right? We had this mana shield thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And every time we use skills, we could damage their shield. But at the end of the round, right, somebody would take 5 damage. Well, each quest has its own kind of mechanics. They're not all going to be the same.
No, no, of course, yeah.
So they've put in a ton of effort specifically to do this, where you are gonna always have a different quest experience. It will never be exactly the same.
Yeah.
So just for example, there's like a quest where you're playing Battleship essentially,
Cool.
and you're trying to move things around. So it's kind of like Battleship, and there's so many crazy ones. One of my favorite ones is there is a every time you spend a mana cube, it goes into this corrupted rift or something, and and so you can't get your mana cubes back until like later on when you can use the corrupted rift power, which basically is a super strong effect. It's like a level 3 skill or something that you can use out of the cubes that are in that corrupted rift. So
Okay.
there's lots of different ways that you're doing it. It will never be the same.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I figured it much from just, leafing through the storybook, the quest book. You see so many different, just the setups of all the pages are different, all the different rules.
Yeah.
So you'll be in for a surprise every mission you play, which is excellent. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's massive. This is really an epic game. And I mean,
And yeah,
from the
exactly.
unboxings on my channel, I put all the unboxings there. You can already see that the components are excellent. The artwork is amazing. You can just already see here in the book the bits and pieces of artwork that are here. But there's a lot of it, and that it's
Oh yeah.
absolutely stunning. So yeah, that alone is pretty impressive. I also like the theme. It's just not just another fantasy, but they built this entire world with lots of lore, so much so that they
Oh
even
yeah.
managed to write 3 books for a full 5th edition RPG set. So it's just
Yep.
not just this Tanares game, which is already huge, but they actually wrote a full tabletop RPG with all the lore they had. So that's pretty impressive
Well,
too.
and we have the original art book too. In
Yeah.
fact, if anybody's interested, we have our community Discord, and in there you can actually go and get the digital form of the that lore book, art and lore book, for free. It doesn't cost you anything,
Wow.
and go in and start diving deep into the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see if I can quickly whip up the Tanaris community link
Yeah,
here.
I think sent you the link.
I am in. I am in it.
But yeah,
So I'm trying to see if I can. Let's see if I can find the link. I'm not that good at Discord, to be honest. Always
well,
searching.
I sent you the link in our chat
Okay,
too, so you could
I'll
just copy
copy
that.
paste it there. Then yeah,
Yeah, that way you don't have
uh,
to try to generate one.
there it is.
Yeah, we got lots of different quests, tons of amazing miniatures, giant boss creatures, right? We got undead
There you
dragons
go.
and the penumbral dragon. We have the penumbral trass.
Hmm.
Um, this augur, which is kind of looks like the what are they
Like a
called?
tentacle beholder, kind of.
Exactly. Yep.
It's not an
Yep.
eye beast, but it
Less
has like these
eyes.
big tentacles, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's
there's
some awesome
lots of
minis there.
super cool stuff.
Yeah.
Isidin, which is the big gigantic gold dragon,
Hmm.
can get these pre-painted or unpainted.
Yep.
There's gonna be lots of options. So yeah, June 27th. Come check it out.
All right, June 27th. Noted. All right,
And there'll
awesome.
even be things for returning backers too. So even if you already have everything, we're going to be having some of the errata books, right, and things updated, and then of course things like I mentioned, the foreteller.
Yeah.
So you can get foreteller. The city board, this city map can come as a board instead of the poster like what it normally comes in there. We
Yeah.
really tried to focus on like deluxifying things that people already have, because we
Okay.
know that this is a newer game,
Hmm.
so they don't want to necessarily buy a ton of new stuff,
Yeah.
but maybe they want to make some of their existing things just a little bit better than what we had planned originally.
Yeah. Even more.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Cool. All right. Well, James, thank you so much for your time and your
Oh, thank you,
explanation
Raymond.
and for collaborating with me to make this playthrough happen. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you did
Good.
too. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
man. I always enjoy playing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's super cool. So yeah, again, everybody, I just posted Discord in my chat as well, uh, and also your channel, James, the Phlanx06 on YouTube, and the
Thank you.
website for Dragori Games if you want to check that out as well. All right, I think we can wrap it up there. It's 11 p.m. here
Yeah.
in Europe, so it's late. But I had a bunch of fun. This was great, and yeah, um, that's that. Then thank you so much, James.
Awesome.
We'll probably see each other online often,
For sure.
and look
Yeah.
out
Well,
for that
thanks,
new
Raymond. I really
Kickstarter.
appreciate taking out the time to play and yeah, we'll talk again soon.
Yeah. All right.
For all my viewers, we'll see you at the next one.
All right. I'm just gonna end the stream here. Thank you so much everybody for having been here and for watching. And you can always join in the either the Tanares Discord or my Discord if you have any questions at all. See you next